From the most humiliating goal in history to Ronaldo abusing an opponent, these are the most disrespectful, cheating, and shameless moments in football history.
And first, the time two coaches triggered one of the craziest ends to a football match.
Stroked into the bottom corner for 1-1 by Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and Tottenham do have their...
And it's finished. It's it hasn't finished. Direction. It's only just started. In terms of...
Damn! That was even more chaotic than the Royal Rumble. But at number 24, a player attacked his own teammate. During a match in the Turkish league, Galatasaray defender Markao walked up to his teammate and launched a full-blown assault. From the way he was throwing headbutts and punches, it was almost as if Muhammad stole something from him. But as crazy as this was, it is nothing compared to what happened at number 23. Angry at being substituted, Adam Ljajic called his coach a shit manager while walking past. But as soon as the coach heard those words, it turned into complete madness.
Sembra di lottare problemi fisici per il giovane serbo, ma mi sembra strano comunque.
Incredibile, incredibile, incredibile. Una rissa Ljajic degli Rossi. Mai vista una cosa del genere.
Damn! The way he attacked him felt really personal. Safe to say Adam won't be disrespecting his coach anytime soon. But for Otamendi, getting lynched by his opponents didn't stop him from being disrespectful again. During a match between Croatia and Argentina, Nicolas Otamendi pissed off the Croatian players when he shot the ball at the back of Rakitic's head.
Get through the challenge of Mascherano, he didn't quite succeed. Well, boiling point has been reached.
But after narrowly escaping the angry Croatians and a red card, you would expect him to calm down a bit. However, Otamendi did the same thing against France. Bro might be the biggest nuisance in football. Well, at least he did this to his opponents, unlike the next group of guys who disrespected their teammate. While training with his teammates at Brazilian club Palmeiras, Roger Guedes was chased, harassed, and tied up like a thief who had just stolen some oranges. When asked why they disrespected him that way, the player said they wanted to toughen him up.
What the hell?
Are they kidding? This looks more like a humiliation ritual. Eventually, he left the club, and when his new team came up against Palmeiras, Guedes scored a rocket and celebrated in the faces of his old teammates. Now that's how you deal with bullies. But to think, this is just 5 out of the 25 moments in this video. You're in for some crazy times. Because still to come is Ronaldo smashing a kid's phone, a player knocking out a coach, and a player disrespecting Messi. But before we get to those, Ronaldo made a grown man cry at number 20. Back when Ronaldo was playing for Juventus, he had a funny encounter with a Roma player. During the game, he fell easily after being tackled from behind. To be honest, it looked kinda soft. But when Florenzi confronted Ronaldo about it, he called the Roma captain a midget and told him to shut up.
Just a little bit disjointed at the moment. Florenzi getting in around with Ronaldo.
Florenzi furious with Ronaldo. His actions there, that you've got a lot to say for someone so small, as Florenzi didn't like that, understandably.
Jacko finds Florenzi, who's in! Oh, what a good finish from the captain!
Yeah, I would have been pissed off too. But this incident reminds me of another disrespectful encounter. In an almost identical situation to the one at number 20, Matt Miyazaga wasn't happy with the way Diego Lainez was trying to tackle him. But instead of just talking about it, he decided to mock his height. This clash is a real-life representation of the relationship between the USA and Mexico. However, this is nothing compared to a player disrespecting the GOAT. During a match between Liverpool and Barcelona, Andy Robertson and Fabinho tracked Messi all the way to win the ball. But on his way back for a counter, Robertson shoved Messi's head like he was some bum. This gesture pissed off Messi so bad that he went to the defender and shoved his head too. I can't lie, that encounter was funny, but there is nothing to smile at about what happens at number 17. With a few minutes left in the match between Freiburg and Frankfurt, David Abram decided to take out his frustrations on the Freiburg coach.
Still we wait for the final whistle. Oh dear me, well that is unnecessary. And David Abraham is doing himself no favours here whatsoever, but these are not the types of scenes that we want to see at the end of a game.
This drew an instant response from the Freiburg bench, who wanted to tear him to pieces. I gotta say, he's a lucky guy for escaping this incident without a scratch. Unfortunately, the player at number 16 wasn't so fortunate when he clashed with Ronaldo. Heading into the match against Liverpool, Cristiano Ronaldo and his teammates were hopeful of a good result in front of their home fans. But after 45 minutes, they found themselves already 3-0 down, angry and frustrated. So when Alisson blocked Ronaldo's effort, he took out his frustration on the innocent Curtis Jones. That is such a funny and disrespectful kick. However, the Liverpool players didn't find it amusing and squared off with the GOAT.
Initially a foul, that in itself perhaps worthy of yellow, but the second action from Cristiano Ronaldo is open to interpretation that could be...
But at least they know who Ronaldo is, unlike the next player who denied knowing a legend. During a match between PSG and Saint Etienne, Zlatan Ibrahimovic pretended not to know who Paul Bass was. He even went as far as checking behind the player's jersey, only for Bass to do the same thing to him.
What the f are you?
I guess that makes it fair and square. However, there's nothing good about the disrespect that happens at number 14. It happened during a match between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Lionel Messi was sitting on the ground after being fouled. While everyone was distracted, Pepe came close and stamped on Messi's hand. The reaction from Messi seemed dramatic, but when you look at the replay, it really was nasty. Such a disrespectful way to treat a football legend. But while Pepe got the better of Messi here, the Argentine took out his frustrations on the player at number 13. With 13 minutes left in the match between Bayern Munich and Barcelona, Lionel Messi wasn't ready to get knocked out of the Champions League. So when the ball was passed to him, he did this.
Deserve that goal scorer. And here he is again. Here he is again. That's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
This felt so disrespectful and unnecessary. Why did Messi have to do him like that? But while Messi used his skills to humiliate his opponent, Chiellini had more straightforward plans at number 12. In the 2020 Euro final between England and Italy, the game seemed destined for penalties as both teams cancelled each other out.
Trippier who'll cross, and it's Luke Shaw. Collected by Insigne. Dribbled his way to the bar. It's flicked across. This is a problem, and it is in. Italy on level, and it is Bonucci.
With the end of the match approaching, Bukayo Saka thought he had dribbled past Chiellini, only for the veteran to do this.
Saka. Nothing you can do there.
Bro dragged him down like a sack of potatoes. But while this tackle was understandable, what Ronaldo did at number 11 was totally unnecessary.
Merseyside police are investigating an incident in which Cristiano Ronaldo appeared to knock a mobile phone out of a supporter's hand at Everton.
Frustrated and angry about losing to Everton, Cristiano Ronaldo was limping back to the dressing room when a young fan begged for a selfie. But instead of taking a picture, Ronaldo angrily smashed the kid's phone. Damn! He definitely heard the fans calling him shit.
Cristiano Ronaldo appeared to knock a mobile phone out of a supporter's hand at Everton. Ronaldo apologised on Instagram last night. He said it's never easy to deal with emotions in difficult moments, such as the one we are facing. Nevertheless, we all have to be respectful, patient, and set the example for all the youngsters who love the beautiful game. I would like to apologise for my outburst, and if possible, I would like to invite this supporter to watch a game at Old Trafford as a sign of fair play and sportsmanship.
And now that we've made it to our top 10, we have to take the disrespect to a whole new level. I'm talking about Mourinho calling his player an old man and a player headbutting his opponent. But before we get to those, we have to see the epic brawl between the USA and Mexico. With the Mexicans losing 3-0 to their fierce rivals, Montez had had enough of the disrespect and took out his frustration on Balogun.
Tough challenge from Alvarez. That's taking his spear. There's a push onto the back of Serginho Dest. Straight red.
This sparked a massive fight between both sets of players. It was so chaotic that the referee didn't even know who to book. But while this beef was between neighbors, the player at number 9 disrespected his entire team.
I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
You don't have a good relationship with him?
The empathy is not good.
Do you think he respects you?
I think you don't respect the way I should deserve.
In the second season of his sensational return to Manchester United, Cristiano Ronaldo fell out with his coach, Erik ten Hag. As a result, the manager started putting him on the bench, a decision Ronaldo found extremely disrespectful. With the tension at its peak, ten Hag benched Ronaldo again for the match against Tottenham. So when Ronaldo figured he wasn't going to play, he did this.
Replenishes the freshness. There you go, good night.
Rakitic.
What's just happened, Clinton?
He's walked down the tunnel. I just saw him, I don't know what, 4 minutes of added on time, but yeah, they showed Cristiano Ronaldo walking back down the tunnel, probably to the dressing room.
If he's done that, it's an absolute disgrace. I think that's disrespectful to the team, to the manager, to the fans. They're winning 2-0. What complaint can he have within this? If they were losing 2-0, it still wouldn't be right, but I would sort of understand him. He clearly thinks he's bigger than the football club.
I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
You don't have a good relationship.
The empathy is not good.
Do you think he respects you?
I think he don't respect the way I should deserve. Everyone knows that.
Disrespecting you, think?
Exactly. This is why I say I don't have respect for him because he don't show me respect for me.
But at number 8, a coach called his own player old. In 2014, Jose Mourinho went on camera to accuse Samuel Eto'o of falsifying his age.
Eto'o va de mieux en mieux, je dirais, quand même. Il est mieux qu'au début, en tout cas. Non?
32 ans, peut-être 35, je ne sais pas.
This went viral because Mourinho was Eto'o's coach at the time. As you'd expect, Eto'o wasn't happy with what his manager said. So when he scored the opening goal of the very next game, he celebrated like this. This reminds me of the time Messi had a beef with another coach. Leading up to the match between the Netherlands and Argentina, Dutch coach Louis van Gaal went on TV and called Messi a lazy player. Messi is the most dangerous, creative player. He is able to help create a lot and to score goals himself. But when they lose the ball, he doesn't participate much. This gives us chances. So when Messi scored a goal against them, he went straight to the Dutch bench to do this. After the game, Messi still went to give the coach a piece of his mind.
Van Gaal saying we got an advantage in penalties. If we go to penalties, we win. I think he needs to keep his mouth shut.
However, this wasn't the only controversial thing he did that day. During the game, Messi wasn't happy with the way Weghorst tackled him. He even took his time to show the ref his bruises, but no action was taken. After the game, Weghorst waited to shake Messi's hand, but the Argentine was having none of it. Still, Weghorst didn't give up. He stood there waiting for Messi to finish his press conference. And when Messi spotted him waiting, he said this.
Con Leo Messi. Bueno, Leo, quedaste un poco caliente por el final.
¿Qué mirá, bobo? ¿Qué mirá, bobo? Anda para allá, bobo. Anda para allá.
Tranquilo, Leo.
As bad as calling someone a fool is, it is nothing compared to what Douglas Costa did at number 5. During a match between Juventus and Sassuolo, Douglas completely lost his cool after being tackled by Francesco. Thankfully, the referee stepped in to cool things down. When the referee ordered the game to restart, Costa and Francesco kept on arguing, only for Costa.
Douglas Costa was sent off a straight.
As disgusting as this was, another player decided to recreate the same thing. After being slapped up by the Seattle Sounders, Luis Suarez went straight for the Seattle coach and started harassing him. When the coach didn't respond, Suarez spat on him. Doing this to a man old enough to be your father is the lowest of lows. But at number 3, Haaland disrespected the wrong teenager. In the match between Arsenal and Manchester City, a controversial red card for Arsenal turns what was a beautiful game into a scrappy affair. Arsenal defended wave after wave of Man City attacks. It looked as if they were going to do the impossible. But with the last kick of the game, City equalized. In the midst of the celebrations, Haaland threw the ball at the back of Gabriel's head. The bad blood continued at full time, with Haaland telling Arteta to stay humble. But the craziest part was when he asked Louis Skelly who he was. So when the teams met in the second leg, Louis Skelly scored and mocked Haaland's celebration. But at number 2, Ibrahimovic cooked a player who tried to disrespect him. After getting into a fight with Duvan Zapata, Ibrahimovic told the attacker that he had more goals than he had appearances. Damn! There's no need to even get upset. Ibrahimovic was just speaking truth. But now, it's time for the most disrespectful moment in football history. After the match between Bastia and PSG ended, Ronaldo stood in the tunnel like he was waiting for something. As soon as Mota came close to him, he headbutted the PSG player and ran off.
Thiago Motta, Brandao se dirige alors vers lui et lui assène un violent coup de tête avant de prendre la fuite. Thiago Motta a le nez en sang, Claude Makelele tente de faire redescendre la tension. L'entraîneur Bastia a déclaré qu'il prendrait lui-même des sanctions contre son joueur si celui-ci était à l'origine de l'incident.
As expected, Mota was furious and tried to go after him, but the security kept blocking him. The visibly angry and frustrated Mota was now left with a bloodied nose and no way to vent. When Brandao was asked why he did what he did, he said it was because Mota kept insulting him throughout the game. Unfortunately for him, the French FA banned him for 6 months, and the police sentenced him to a year in prison.
But while Brandao's headbutt landed him in prison, football has seen far worse acts of cheating. I'm talking about fake injuries, hidden razors, and entire nations banned from the World Cup. Let's check out the biggest scandals in football history. And for Mateo Valbuena, sharing his secret with Benzema turned out to be the worst decision of his life. You see, back when Valbuena was playing in the French league, he went out to party with a couple of friends. After having a good time, he took a girl home and got a little freaky, but unknown to him, he and the girl were being recorded. A few days later, someone sent him the video and demanded a crazy amount of money, which Valbuena wasn't willing to pay. So he talked to Benzema to help him sort out his mess. But after a few calls, Benzema urged him just to pay the ransom. This didn't sit well with him, so he reported the issue to the police. And after putting a tap on Benzema's phone, they found this.
He's not taking us seriously. Do not worry. He has no choice. I'll make him understand. He will pay.
It made no sense why Benzema would want to scam his own teammate. Because of that, his own country banned him from the national team for life.
Karim Benzema has been found guilty of complicity in the attempted blackmail of former France teammate Mathieu Valbuena over a sex tape and sentenced to a 1-year suspended jail term by a court.
Eventually, Benzema and 4 other guys were sentenced to 1 year in prison. But while he was just trying to get a payday, the next player smashed his best friend's wife. After arriving at the Barcelona Academy as a scrawny South American kid, Mauro Icardi instantly became friends with his compatriot Maxi Lopez. Maxi took him under his wing and even allowed Icardi to live with him and his wife, Wanda Nara. Eventually, both of them moved to Italy, where their friend grew even closer. However, while Maxi was being nice, Icardi was having an affair with his wife. When news broke out about the affair, it became the biggest scandal in Italian football. Many people couldn't believe the level of betrayal exhibited by Icardi. To make matters worse, Wanda announced her split from Maxi Lopez and her immediate marriage to Icardi. As if that weren't enough, Icardi went ahead and tattooed the names of Maxi and Wanda's children on his arm. So when the pair met in a football match, Maxi refused to shake Icardi's hand. However, Wanda and Icardi are now divorced after he accused her of cheating on him with his teammate Keita Balde. Damn, she might have been a better distributor than Pedri. But while this entire situation cost Icardi a 10-year marriage, Ivan Toney's hatred for his club almost ruined his career. When this video leaked, it shocked the world, considering the history between Toney and Brentford. However, no one knew the extent of his hatred until it was reported that Toney had been betting against his club.
Ivan Toney made 13 bets on his own team to lose in 7 different matches between August 2017 and March 2018. Toney was not in the squad or eligible to play in any of those matches. Now, psychiatry expert Dr. Philip Hopley, who was part of the investigation, said Toney had a clear history of gambling addiction.
Brentford striker Ivan Toney has been charged by the FA with misconduct in relation to alleged breaches of the FA's betting rules. It's alleged that he breached the rules 232 times.
I understand betting, but doing it against the club you play for? That's just insane.
People that know me know how I am. I know what I'm about. And the fact is, like you said, majority of football teams now are sponsored by gambling companies. Yeah. So it's kind of like, weigh it up. Like, if that's the rules, don't be betting. Yeah, you shouldn't be betting.
Thankfully, the English prescribed an 8-month ban to cure him of his illness. But at least he was just gambling, unlike the next player who ended his opponent's career. During a match between Manchester United and Leeds, Roy Keane suffered a nasty injury after a tackle by Alfie Haaland. But while he was screaming in pain, Haaland leaned in and called him a cheat. This incident flipped a switch in Keane's mind, and he knew he couldn't let things slide. So when the pair met in the Manchester Derby 4 years later, Roy Keane did this. While Haaland was screaming in pain, he leaned over him and called him all sorts of names. Keane's horror tackle drew widespread criticism, prompting the FA to ban him for 3 months. For Haaland, it proved to be the end of his career, as he never recovered from that injury. It's all good though, because Alfie's son, Erling Haaland, has been cooking Manchester United ever since. But the bald dude at number 16 produced one of the biggest scandals in World Cup history. With a few minutes left in the 2006 World Cup final between France and Italy, Zinedine Zidane turned towards Materazzi and headbutted him to the ground. The incident shocked the entire world. This was a man who was on his way to a comfortable Ballon d'Or win. What did Materazzi say to him to warrant such a reaction? It took some time before Zidane finally opened up. He said that he asked Materazzi if he wanted his shirt because he had been pulling it throughout the game. Materazzi told him, "I prefer your sister instead."
Une fois vous essayez de partir, c'est ce que je fais. C'est les mots, comme je vous dis, qui me touchent au plus profond.
Vous pouvez les redire ce qui a été dit.
Avec la maman, la sœur, c'est des mots très durs, quoi. Donc vous écoutez une fois, vous essayez de partir, c'est ce que je fais.
Yeah, that headbutt was totally worth it. But as crazy as this was, it's nothing compared to Henry robbing an entire country. In a crucial 2010 World Cup qualifier, Ireland defied the odds when they took a 1-0 lead against the almighty France. As the game progressed, France threw everything at them, but the Irish defense was resilient. But with a few minutes of normal time remaining, Thierry Henry turned into LeBron just to assist France's equalizer.
Trying to measure it. Richard Dunn lost out. Oh, Henri! Oh, it's in the net. It's a goal. McShane has put it into his own goal. Oh, it's in the net. He's knocked it back to Gallus and it's easy, but that's a handball, no question about it. Absolutely no question about it.
As expected, the Irish players surrounded the referee in protest, and from the replay, it was clear they were right. However, since VAR was not a thing back then, the goal stood, ultimately ending Ireland's World Cup dreams. After the game, the Irish threatened to take the matter to court, but their appeals fell on deaf ears. It remains one of the biggest scandals in football history. And since we're talking about the World Cup, another player embarrassed his entire country with his antics. While standing close to the corner flag, a ball was kicked onto Rivaldo's face, or so we thought. Seeing how badly Rivaldo screamed, the referee had no option but to send the Turkish player off. However, the replay showed that the ball actually hit him on his thigh. Basically, he just acted out a terrible Hollywood script. This drew considerable criticism, prompting FIFA to launch an investigation. After determining that he had cheated, they fined him $5,000. Yeah, he probably made that back in one game. But the guy at number 13 hated a player so badly that he put him in a hospital. Back in 2006, Materazzi injured Ibrahimovic with this terrible tackle. Years passed and everyone had forgotten that event. Ibrahimovic was now playing for AC Milan, and the pair met again in the 2010 Milan derby. The first half finished without incident, but as soon as the second half started, Ibrahimovic did this. Materazzi was rushed to the hospital. And when Ibrahimovic was questioned about the incident, he said he had been waiting for the moment for 4 years. Damn, bro might be more ruthless than John Wick, but at least he didn't cheat, unlike the goalkeeper at number 12. After a silly clearance took him way out of his 18-yard box, Justin Bilo threw a second ball onto the pitch to deny his opponent from scoring. Bro hacked the game to save his face, and since goalkeepers can get away with cheating, Marvin Hitz cooked up his own recipe.
Penalty spot. Hitz makes the save. It stays 0-0.
After his teammates had given away a silly penalty, Hitz knew he had to do something to give himself a fighting chance. So while the referee was distracted, he used his boots to dig up the penalty spot.
Just watch what Hitz is doing here. He's just trying to kick up the ground a little bit by that penalty spot. Hitz makes the save. It stays 0-0. Modeste went for that corner and he slips as well.
It looked harmless at first, but when the striker slipped and missed, that's when everyone figured out what he had done. Fair play to him for bending the rules to his will.
War nicht so schön, wenn man es im Nachhinein sieht, aber in so einem intensiven Spiel mit so hitzigen Zuschauern macht man manchmal Sachen, die man für sich nicht kennt und ja, klar, ich würde es nicht mehr machen.
But even this controversial play couldn't break into our top 10. That's because we've got a player cutting himself and another guy smashing his teammate's wife. Before we get to those, we have to see a guy who scammed an entire football club.
Playing for Southampton, which was, pretty unbelievable at the time.
Back in '96, Southampton manager Graham Souness received an unexpected call from George Weah, the FIFA World Player of the Year. Weah recommended his cousin, Ali Dia, to Souness, and since the recommendation came from such an elite player, he had to give the guy a chance. But after just one training session, Souness began to have doubts. Unfortunately, Southampton were going through an injury crisis, and Souness decided to play him in a match. Dia entered the match and completely flopped, forcing the club to reach out to Weah again. But to their shock, Weah claimed he never called Souness or knew who Ali Dia was.
Now this one might surprise you. You see,
when faced with facts, Dia still stuck to his story, but everyone knew he was lying.
He told me that George ring him and said that I'm a good player. I'm not afraid to say that I'm a good player. I can prove that. I'm going to prove that.
So George Weah did ring Graham Souness?
Personally, like I told you, I don't really know.
In reality, he orchestrated everything. Moving from the local club, Blythe Spartans, through a well-executed scam.
Next thing I knew, I was watching him on Match of the Day and watched him playing for Southampton, which was, you know, pretty unbelievable at the time.
Maybe Zarelli thought that if Zarelli's his real name, that he could go that far, and maybe thought that he could do the same sort of thing.
Since then, he simply vanished into thin air and has not been heard from since. But while Dia was remorseful, the guy at number 9 breathes and lives on controversy. In the match between Ghana and Uruguay, the Ghanaians were aiming to become the first African country to reach the World Cup semifinals. Little did they know they were about to face the biggest challenge in their careers. With seconds of the match remaining, the Ghanaians had one last chance to win. But as the header was about to go in, Suarez did this. Unfortunately, Gian missed the resulting penalty kick, and Ghana eventually lost the game in a penalty shootout. To this day, it remains a benchmark for how far players are willing to go to secure a win.
I don't say they apologize about that because the Ghana player missed a penalty, not me. It's not my fault because I don't miss the penalty.
This reminds me of the time Neymar got banned by FIFA.
I'm gonna lose my shit.
Back when Neymar was an up-and-coming superstar, he found a cunning way to cheat the system. Whenever he got a penalty, he would wait for the goalkeeper to dive before slotting the ball in the other direction. After scoring 5 straight penalties, the clips went viral, prompting FIFA to call an emergency meeting. After deliberating, they banned this move from the game of football for life. Unknown to FIFA, Neymar is not a guy to back down from a challenge, and he demonstrated his newfound talent in a match against Switzerland. After being tackled, Neymar decided to milk every inch of pain from his body. His reaction to the tackle instantly went viral. Even a bunch of kids couldn't help but pay tribute to him. However, Neymar isn't the only player who has good acting skills. After losing the first leg of their Champions League match against Inter, Barcelona knew they needed a miracle to be able to qualify for the finals. But when the miracle wasn't forthcoming, Sergio Busquets took matters into his own hands by milking a simple tackle from Thiago Motta. He even peeked to see if the referee had taken the bait. Eventually, Motta was sent off. But while Busquets tricked the referee, Sergio Ramos literally took out his opponent. The hype surrounding the 2018 Champions League was real. Serial winners Real Madrid came up against the Liverpool team on red-hot form. With that in mind, Ramos knew he needed to give his team the advantage. So, as soon as the game started, he turned into a UFC fighter.
UEFA Champions League. Salah. He's crying. He's out.
After taking out Liverpool's star man, Madrid went on to win the trophy. But the trauma of what Ramos did stayed with the Liverpool faithful.
The bathroom, I was crying in the bathroom because I want to start a game, I want to play. But in the meantime, I know that I'm not fit at all to play. But in one moment, like, disappeared, it's so difficult. It's so difficult.
So when Salah and Ramos met again, Salah refused to shake Ramos's hand. I mean, you can't injure someone and then try to act cool afterwards. Still, taking out an opponent is one thing. Biting them, on the other hand, is a scandal best left to one player. It all started in 2010 when Suarez decided to take a bite during an argument between Ajax and PSV players. This earned him a 7-match ban. 3 years later, Suarez was back at it again. His latest display earned him a 10-match ban. But after biting another opponent at the 2014 World Cup, FIFA said enough.
Headbutted him there, didn't he? Luis Suarez appeared to move his head. He might have bit him as well.
Did Suarez apologize?
Of course not. He behaves in a way, and FIFA allows him to do so because they need the champions to play. They don't have the courage to make the right decisions.
They suspended him from all football-related activities for 4 months, gave him a 9-match international ban, and fined him 100,000 Swiss francs. They did this when the solution was just a wooden stake.
Luis Suarez is suspended for 9 matches and banned for 4 months from any football-related activity.
I think there has to be an exemplary punishment, and he has to be suspended for the rest of the World Cup, so no one can do this anymore. This is football, you don't bite.
But the player at number 3 took a bite out of the forbidden fruit. Back when Chelsea were at the top of the Premier League, their legendary captain, John Terry, and his teammate, Wayne Bridge, became very close. And since they were such good friends, they spent time together with each other's families. All seemed well until news broke that Terry had an affair with Wayne Bridge's wife. This became the biggest scandal in English football, leading to Bridge leaving Chelsea. So when the pair met in the match, Bridge refused to shake Terry's hand. But while Terry smashed his friend's wife, Maradona screwed an entire country. During a match between England and Argentina, Diego Maradona took matters into his own hands by scoring the most controversial goal in World Cup history.
Maradona just walked away from Huddle then. Ronaldo. They're appealing for offside.
I could not believe justice.
This drew widespread criticism worldwide.
He said it was the hand of God. I said it was the hand of a rascal.
No, it's not cheating. He knew he'd cheated, and the hand of God was the biggest load of nonsense of all time, and just added to the irritation.
I couldn't reach it, and Shilton was already there, so I couldn't head it, so I did like that.
Maradona just walked away from Huddle then. Ronaldo.
Especially when pictures of him scoring with his hand surfaced. When Maradona was asked why he did that, he simply said, "A little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God."
It was your hand or the hand of God?
For me, man.
It was my hand. I go out shouting goal, and I look behind me to see whether the referee took the bait, and he had. So that was it. Come on, it was a goal.
But as crazy as this was, it is nothing compared to what happens at number 1. In 1990, the last South American ticket to the World Cup came down to one final match. Brazil versus Chile in a winner-takes-all encounter.
1989 qualifiers. During the Brazil-Chile match, astonishing things happened. In that August match, the audience witnessed a real clash, filled with rough tackles and red cards in the truest sense of the word.
For Brazil, a draw would be enough to see them through. But for Chile, only a win would guarantee them a spot. When the match started, Brazil rushed into an early lead, and with time far spent, the Chileans came up with Plan B.
Events picked up in the second half, and in the 49th minute, Brazil took the lead. For the following 5 minutes, Chile dominated as they tried desperately to get back into the tie.
Some Brazilian fans threw flares onto the pitch, striking the Chilean goalkeeper in the head. Bloodied and battered, the Chileans walked off the pitch in protest of what had happened. This meant that Brazil would lose the game due to the actions of their fans. But in a stroke of luck, a photographer captured the exact moment the flare landed on the pitch. Crucially, it showed that the flare did not touch Rojas. So where did he get the injuries from? With the evidence firmly against him, Rojas confessed that it was all part of a plan involving the entire Chilean team. He hid a razor in his glove and cut himself with it. FIFA didn't like this at all and banned the entire Chilean team from the 1990 and 1994 World Cups. Still, as outrageous as Chile's fake injury scandal was, players don't just cheat on the pitch, they also complain about everything on it. You have to see the craziest complaints from football players. And for Adam Ljajic, complaining about being substituted got him the beating of his life.
Sembra di lottare problemi fisici per il giovane serbo, ma mi sembra strano comunque.
Incredibile, incredibile, incredibile. Una rissa Ljajic degli Rossi. Mai vista una cosa del genere.
Damn, getting jumped by a bald old man is downright embarrassing. But hey, at least he was human. Unlike the next player who got tackled by ghosts.
Now this one might surprise you. You see,
Oh my God. Hell no.
Oh dear, when he sees a replay, he's going to...
Tackling himself might have happened by accident, but having the nerve to ask for a penalty? This is like me sliding into Beyonce's DMs. But at number 23, a player told his coach to f*** off. Back in 2011, Leon Clark was having the time of his life against Southampton, but when the coach decided to take him off, he lost his cool. With the cameras on their faces, the coach tried to calm him down, but when they got into the dressing room, all hell broke loose. Damn, coaches were moving mad back in the days.
Once he came closer, he kept going, carry on, and say bad words. It was friendly to put my arm around his neck. He kept going to say very bad words under the tongue, and I tell you the reality. He pushed me again away, and this moment I pull his shirt and say, now stop, now go in the dressing room. And then, stay!
But at number 22, a player's complaint cost him $50,000. After losing a heated match against their rivals Bayern, Jude Bellingham was frustrated with some of the decisions that went against them. So when he was asked about the game, he dropped a bombshell.
Well, for me it wasn't, he's not even looking at the ball and he's fighting to get it and it hits him. I don't even think he's looking at the ball, but you can look at a lot of the decisions in the game. You give a referee that's match fixed before the biggest game in Germany. What do you expect?
While the accusations made by Bellingham were true, the German FA didn't like the fact that he called out the ref on live TV. So they had a meeting and fined him $50,000. Damn, that might be the most expensive interview of all time, until I found out about a guy who pissed off Cristiano Ronaldo. You see, back in 2015, Ronaldo went on tour to advertise his new headphones. But while being interviewed on CNN, the reporter decided to ask a dumb question, and that's when Ronaldo flipped.
Cristiano Ronaldo, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros.
Pero no me digas que no hablan de eso en los camarines.
¿Quieres saber la verdad? No hablamos cero sobre eso. Nada. Hablamos de otras cosas.
¿De qué hablan?
De música, de mujeres, de moda, de zapatos, de maletas, de joyas.
Sabes que no te creo, es difícil creerlo. Ya no todo el mundo está hablando de eso.
Sí, pero yo no hablo de eso.
¿Y es que no?
He visto muy
Una de las
espectacular.
cosas relacionadas que se habla de esto es el Mundial de Qatar. Muchos deportistas dicen que jugar...
A ver una cosa, pero, a ver,
Speak about FIFA, I don't care about FIFA. Qatar.
As insane as bottling an interview with Ronaldo was, it still couldn't break into our top 20, because still to come is Drogba calling out corrupt referees.
Disrespect that a referee from Norway is the strongest official.
And some players struggling to breathe. But before we get to those, we have to see one of the most controversial decisions in Champions League history. During a match between Barcelona and Arsenal, the referee showed Van Persie a red card for literally trying to score a goal.
Fabregas. Van Persie is off. It's the second yellow card for Robin Van Persie for kicking the ball away. So another twist to the drama.
The reaction on Van Persie's face was how everyone felt that day. So when he was being interviewed after the match, he just had to speak his mind.
In my opinion, it was a total joke, the sending off, because how can I hear his whistle with 95,000 people jumping up?
1 second between the referee whistling and you striking the ball.
But this way, 1 second from his whistle till my shot is just a joke.
But just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, the referees struck again.
Players have to keep their heads as well. That a referee from Norway is the strongest official.
After a boring draw at Camp Nou, Chelsea welcomed Barcelona to their stadium with the hopes of securing a win. And as soon as the match started, Michael Essien gave the Blues a well-deserved lead.
Looking to pull it back. And Essien! It's a fantastic start for Chelsea!
But when the referee denied Drogba this clear penalty,
Lampard has helped it through, and Drogba controls. He's gone down, the referee looked at his linesman.
it became obvious that something was up. Deep into the match, another penalty was denied after a handball by Piqué. And with seconds left to play, Iniesta scored the all-important away goal.
It's Iniesta! And the Chelsea fans cover their eyes in horror. 2 minutes from time.
However, Chelsea didn't let the disappointment get to them. They went all out to try and score again. Unfortunately, their complaints fell on deaf ears. And after such one-sided officiating, Didier Drogba had no choice but to complain. But at number 18, another player almost beat up a reporter.
Really, you can tell that by my face? I think this is a big disappointment that you talk this way to me.
Upset about losing to bitter rivals Ajax, Graziano Pelle wasn't happy that a reporter questioned his team's commitment. So he had to put him in his place.
The people here in Rotterdam, they would have expected more like a killing mentality, but not a real passion, not a mentality that I would have expected.
Maybe. You can come to the trainer if you want next week. We invite you or Feyenoord. You can tell us your mentality how to win the game against Ajax.
I will.
Which team you support?
Sorry?
Which team you support? You know?
I support nothing.
Nothing? I think you support Ajax. Anyway,
Really? Why do you think so?
You have the face that you are Ajax supporters. Anyway.
Really? You can tell that by my face? I think this is a big disappointment that you talk this way to me.
So you talk the same.
This reminds me of the time my boy Balotelli beefed an entire newspaper. Back when Balotelli was playing at City, his off-field antics quickly made him the media's favorite villain.
Well, what's he doing with that there? What? He can't even get his bib on there, eh? I think I'm going to change his name to Mario Bibatelli. What is he doing? He can't get his bib on.
He's trying hard. He's trying hard.
They wrote all sorts of nasty stuff about him, but it was the Sun newspaper that caught Balotelli's attention. So when he was asked a question by one of their reporters, he said this.
Mario, hi. Anthony Kastronakis from The Sun, England. I wanted to ask you...
Listen, your newspaper, from when I get to England, he always talk bad about me, so I don't want to speak with your newspaper, sorry.
Wow, I cannot believe Balotelli was actually being respectful. However, the same cannot be said for the next goalkeeper who disrespected his coach. During the Carabao Cup final in 2019, Chelsea defied all odds by dragging a rampant Manchester City side into extra time. With a few minutes left until penalty shootouts, Chelsea's manager decided it was time to replace Kepa with someone better at stopping penalties. But to the shock of everyone in the stadium, Kepa refused to come off.
No, please, no.
The coach screamed, complained, and went into all sorts of panic. Kepa simply said no. And since a player can't be forcefully substituted, the coach had no choice but to leave him alone.
Aguero, absolutely incandescent, and with every right of it. Well, he's walking away. He might be walking away from the stadium. Is he walking away from the job?
And so I didn't want the goalkeeper go to the penalties in that physical condition. I realized that the situation only after 3-4 minutes when the doctor arrived there. And the goalkeeper wanted only to let me know that he was in condition to go to the penalty. So it was only a big misunderstanding. Kepa was right, but in the wrong way, I think.
But while Kepa almost gave his coach a heart attack, the ball at number 15 had the entire football world complaining.
What a goal! Absolutely terrific!
Leading up to the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, Adidas was tasked with developing the official match ball that would be played at the tournament. Being the nerds that they are, Adidas did a lot of sci-fi shit to create the ball known as the Jabulani. This was supposed to be the most advanced ball ever made. But as soon as the first match was played, the complaints started rolling in. Some players said the ball moved erratically. Others said it rolled too fast. And they actually weren't wrong. A lot of silly goals were conceded, but amidst the sea of complaints, one player mastered the ball and bent it to his will.
Here's Forlan. He's going to strike for goal! What a goal! Absolutely terrific! Who says this ball doesn't dip and bend? Diego Forlan.
That man was Diego Forlan, who earned the nickname Jabulani Kicker after scoring 5 goals at the tournament.
Check his run there. He was offside. Diego Forlan is very much onside. Checks into a shooting position. Forlan! With a cracking equaliser for Uruguay.
But at least it was just a ball, unlike the players at number 14 who were battling for their lives. Back in 2022, the Brazilian national team traveled to La Paz to take on Bolivia in a World Cup qualifier. But after defeating their rivals 4-0, the Samba boys went into another battle with nature. You see, La Paz is 3,600 meters above sea level, and at that height, the oxygen level is low. Because they weren't used to playing football in that condition, they had to wear oxygen masks just to breathe properly. Damn, seeing this makes me appreciate these players even more. But the player at number 13 wasn't feeling thankful about a piece of equipment he was given. During a match between Chelsea and Tottenham, Cucurella slipped and handed Spurs their first goal of the match.
He'll step in there when they've got the ball. Oh, it's a slip. Stepping off and slipping was Cucurella. Spurs, Solanke in field of him. Dominic Solanke!
Then, in an amazing case of deja vu, Cucurella slipped again to hand Spurs another goal.
There it is in evidence again. For the second time, Cucurella slipped. Kulusevski! It's happened again! Wow.
Upset about his mess-up, Cucurella ran to the touchline and quickly changed his boots.
Incredible.
I mean, that is so unprofessional from this guy.
After such a disappointing performance, Cucurella apologized with a picture of the boots in the trash can.
Yo, Mark, the boots. Where are they?
Poor old Boot, taking the blame for a player's mistake. This reminds me of the time Hummels complained about his boots. Back in 2017, Mats Hummels was dealing with a couple of injuries on his toes. But because of how important he was to the team, Bayern needed him for the match against rivals Dortmund. However, Hummels complained about how painful his shoes were during training. Under normal circumstances, Hummels would have taken some weeks off so his toes would heal completely. But since he wanted to play, he came up with a crazy idea. He cut holes in his boots to allow his toes to breathe. And surprisingly, it worked. Hummels got the breathing space he wanted, and his performance on the field wasn't affected as Bayern ran out 3-1 winners. Talk about reinventing the wheel, but the guy at number 11 couldn't believe how shit his teammate was. During a match between Real Madrid and Mönchengladbach, Vini Jr. was in the worst form of his career. He kept misplacing passes and wasting chances. With Real Madrid losing 1-0 at halftime, Karim Benzema asked Mendy not to pass the ball to Vini. That way, they had a better chance of winning. Getting your teammates to conspire against you is a new level of shit I thought I would never see. But now that we've made it to our top 10, we have to take things to a whole new level. Like the time Ronaldo called out his manager.
I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
And Zlatan's epic rant against the referees. We'll get to those eventually, because at number 10, another player completely lost his cool.
Because clearly it cost us 2 points today. It's a joke.
After a disallowed goal cost Southampton a crucial win against Watford, Charlie Austin had to let the officials know how terrible they were at their jobs.
We scored a perfectly good goal. Make it 2-0. Game's done and dusted. We win the game. It's a joke. Going about VAR this, VAR that. Help the officials out. Clearly they need help.
But while Austin was just frustrated, Jose Mourinho took trolling to a whole new level at number 9. During a match between Inter and Udinese, Zlatan Ibrahimovic felt pain in his leg and asked to be substituted. Unfortunately for him, Mourinho is not a man who likes being told what to do. So he substituted other players, including the goalkeeper, just to show Zlatan who's boss.
Ce la fa, richiede il cambio Ibra, poi andiamo da Stefano. Ecco il cambio fuori, Balotelli, Ibra. Si è contenuto. Passo. Mancini la passa per Ibra in area di rigore. Ibrahimovic! 3-0. Adesso voglio vedere se ringrazia Mourinho che gli ha permesso di inseguire ancora.
Landoni lo ha mandato a quel paese perché ha detto no. E comunque Ibrahimovic deve giocare fino alla fine.
E infatti vedo lì che è contentissimo di questa cosa. Guardalo.
But as funny as this might have been, it is nothing compared to the complaint at number 8. After losing 2-0 to Newcastle at the Carabao, the Arsenal manager had the funniest excuse as to why they lost.
What can you do to help them?
Nothing, just try and show them, give them tips of what we can do better. I think we kicked a lot of the balls over the bar, and it's tricky that this ball flies a lot, and we discussed that as well. So there are details that we can do better, but at the end, that's gone. You know, this is no way back. It's about the next game, and that's our world. The reality is our world.
The balls flew a lot? Bro, that's what balls do. This reminds me of the time another manager threatened the English FA. Back in 2019, Liverpool were scheduled to play in the Club World Cup after winning the Champions League. The tournament was scheduled for December, but after winning their Carabao Cup tie against Arsenal, the next match in the competition was scheduled a few days before their first Club World Cup match. So, when asked about the situation, Jurgen Klopp said,
"And if they don't find a place for us, an appropriate place, then we don't play it. Then you have to think about a fixture list. But we will not be the victim of this problem." I think a lot of people from the Premier League were sitting in front of television hoping that Arsenal can do it. But I'm sorry.
Threatening to quit altogether might be wild, but it's not as crazy as what happened at number 6.
Is it a colour thing? If it's a black person or Indian person saying it, are you confused?
Back in 2001, Sol Campbell moved from Tottenham to their bitter rivals Arsenal for free. Since then, the Spurs fans made it their mission to torment him whenever they had the chance. However, 24 years have passed since that move, and Campbell has retired, yet he still gets harassed by the Spurs fans. So, while on an interview with AFTV, he just had to ask why.
Is it a colour thing? Is it underbelly colour thing that keeps you going? Because there's a lot of other players have done this type of move, similar move. If it's a black person or Indian person saying it, are you confused?
But while Campbell delivered a generational meme to the masses, Frank Lampard couldn't understand the level of officiating in the match against City. With the 2021-2022 Premier League title on the line, a clear handball by Rodri should have resulted in a penalty for Everton.
Richarlison blocked by Ederson. Oh, that was the hand. That was the arm of Rodri. Strong appeals here, and it must be. He's not given it. They have not given it.
But after the referee and VAR turned a blind eye, Frank Lampard had to let them know what's up.
And to think that Chris Kavanagh has not given that penalty. I've got a 3-year-old daughter at home who could tell you that's a penalty. I'm not being funny, Jeff. I don't.
But after being helped by the referees, Rodri had the nerve to complain about the incident at number 4. After losing 2-0 to Scotland, a salty Rodri completely lost the plot by calling out the Scottish players.
There seemed to be a lot of frustration out there tonight between the Spain players, the Scotland players. What did that feel like from where you were?
It's the way they play. You have to respect that. At the end, for me, it's a bit rubbish because it's always wasting time. They provoke you and they always fall. Like this is for me, it's not football. You have to try to, for the speed of the sport, you have to move on. But the referee has to take part on this, and it says nothing. It's what it is. They have their weapons. We have to use our weapons, and I think we will learn for the next time.
Yeah, bro might be the worst loser of all time. But the player at number 3 put his coach in his place. Imagine being your club's striker, and just as you're about to take a penalty, your coach keeps screaming that you allow someone else to play it. However, Uche wasn't about to let the coach take a shine, so when he scored, he had to let him know. But he didn't stop there. 10 minutes later, he scored a second, leaving his coach with a red face. And speaking of coaches disrespecting their players, Cristiano Ronaldo had to let everyone know how he felt about Erik ten Hag.
I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
You don't have a good relationship with him?
The empathy is not good.
You think he respects you?
I think he don't respect the way I should deserve.
After a successful first season back at Manchester United, Cristiano Ronaldo expected the second season to be even better. But after sitting on the bench for several matches, tensions between him and his coach began to rise.
Replenishes the freshness. There you go, good night.
It's
What's just happened, Clinton?
He's walked down the tunnel. I just saw him, I don't know, 4 minutes of added down time, but yeah, they showed Cristiano Ronaldo walking back down the tunnel, probably to the dressing room.
If he's done that, it's an absolute disgrace. I think that's disrespectful to the team, to the manager, to the fans. They're winning 2-0. What complaint can he have within this? If they were losing 2-0, it still wouldn't be right, but I would sort of understand it. He clearly thinks he's bigger than the football club.
Ronaldo kept throwing tantrums, expecting that Ten Hag would change his mind. But when that didn't work, he scheduled an interview to say this.
I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
You don't have a good relationship.
The empathy is not good.
Do you think he respects you?
I think you don't respect the way I should deserve. Everyone knows that.
Disrespecting you, think?
Exactly. This is why I say I don't have respect for him, because he don't show me respect for me.
Fair to say, this interview has aged well. But I'm sure Zlatan will want the world to forget what happened at number 1.
You call me arrogant. And French people are famous for being arrogant. So I'm exactly like you. So you should love me.
After losing a close match against Bordeaux, Zlatan Ibrahimovic was furious about some of the decisions that went against them. But instead of complaining calmly, he went on an epic rant against the referees.
Don't even deserve peace. You should be in this country.
However, he said so much shit that the French FA forced him to apologize to the fans.
First of all, was not aiming for the people or whoever there. When I said it, I was angry in that moment. And whoever felt offended or took it in a wrong way, if they took it, I apologize for them. I have no problem.
Or was it the fans that apologized to him? You know how it is with Zlatan. But while Zlatan's rant forced him to apologize, not all confrontations end badly. Some lead to epic showdowns between pros and amateurs. Stay put to watch times football players destroy YouTubers.
If this subscriber can beat Ronaldo in a 1v1, I'm going to give him $1 million.
And first, the time Speed got destroyed by a kid. With Cristiano Jr. only 14 years old at the time, Speed thought he could get the better of the kid in a 5-a-side match. But when he tried to get off him, Jr. completely destroyed him with a nutmeg. Damn! Jr. literally made him his dog. But after being embarrassed by a kid, Speed doubled down and challenged another footballer.
Dude, what? Like, you want to play 1v1?
Stop doing that! Stop being mean!
In an unexpected turn of events, Speed met up with Pogba and immediately challenged him to a 1v1.
You want to play 1v1? Oh, wow. Oh, what's going on here?
But after clowning himself, Pogba took the ball away from him like it was nothing.
Oh, what's going on here?
Instead of taking the L, Speed went for round 2 and was completely embarrassed by yet another nutmeg.
Yeah, you can't nutmeg. How much you want to bet? Just try to nutmeg. Just try to do that at least. You can't nutmeg me.
Bro, listen.
Stop doing that! Stop being mean!
With those open legs, bro's lucky he's not a girl. But that still doesn't come close to number 18, where Haaland scared the crap out of Logan Paul. In 2023, Logan Paul and KSI invited Erling Haaland to a Prime Hydration event. Instead of sticking to other activities, they challenged the big man to a penalty shootout.
Bring that volley. Ah, Jess.
But from the very first attempt, they knew he wasn't messing around.
Come on, Haaland. What you got? Come on, then.
You got knocked the out, man. That was one of the most terrifying things I've ever done. I can't lie, man. He's so scary the way he runs up to the ball and strikes it.
After embarrassing KSI, Logan stepped up to take his own L. However, these guys refused to give up.
Right, so he's pretty good. Yeah, but let's see what he can do against two of us.
Oh my God.
Two of them stood in the post trying to stop Haaland, only to be embarrassed again.
As your prime athlete, Erling Haaland, we give you a prime chain.
Enjoy, bro.
Thank you, my friend.
But while this was all fun and games, Cristiano Ronaldo cooked his lookalike at number 17. While warming up for a match, Ronaldo spotted a guy who got famous for looking like him. But instead of taking a selfie, Ronaldo said this.
No, you don't look like me. It's really ugly.
Damn! Yeah, Ronaldo's kinda right there. That dude is ugly. Either way, it's still not as crazy as number 16, cause Haaland humiliated I Show Speed.
What?
At the 2023 Ballon d'Or ceremony, Speed couldn't contain his excitement when he found out he was finally meeting Haaland. But while he was waiting, Speed met up with Manchester City's Ruben Diaz.
By the way, I got a question. Why you wear your jerseys like that, though? Like, they be super big on you. I always wanted to ask. Old school. Oh, I like that. I like that. Yes, sir.
When he finally met Haaland, the first thing the Norwegian noticed was Speed's ugly shoes.
Bro?
What's with the shoes, bro?
Huh? Bro, what's up with your hair, bro?
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeezys with a suit? Only Speed can pull off such a horrible combination.
Oh my God. Hell no.
But to think, this is just 5 out of the 20 times footballers cooked YouTubers. You're in for some rib-cracking content. Still to come is a board-breaking free kick, Alicia Lehman kicking balls, and Messi blocking Speed. But before we get to those, let's look at the most ridiculous question you'll ever hear. Still at the 2023 Ballon d'Or ceremony, Speed met with goalkeeper Emi Martinez, the same guy who handed Messi his first ever World Cup trophy with this last-minute save. And Speed asked him to pick between Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah, hey, hold on, wait. Ronaldo or Messi?
Oh my God. Hell no.
What do you think? I know you're Ronaldo fan, but like, no way.
Bro, okay, no. Okay.
I don't even know what to say, bro. Asking an Argentine who is better between Messi and Ronaldo is like committing the worst crime ever. Thankfully, Martinez was still chill enough to allow this to slide.
Hey, bro, nice to meet you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But Ronaldo for life, man.
Hey, nah, no chance.
And speaking of Lionel Messi, some YouTubers thought it was a good idea to take on the GOAT in a YouTube challenge. The guys at Unisport had a rare opportunity to take part in a crossbar challenge with Messi. And with his very first shot, Messi hit the ball perfectly into the crossbar. However, Messi missing his second attempt showed that he was human after all. But before they could laugh at him, he hit the crossbar with his third attempt. He missed his fourth and scored the fifth to cap off a dominating performance. Damn! I attempted this challenge the other day and I got 0 out of 20. But at least I didn't embarrass myself in front of anyone. Unlike the free kickers, who got destroyed by Cristiano Ronaldo. While tearing it up at Real Madrid, the free kickers dared to challenge Cristiano Ronaldo in his house.
Hi guys, welcome to my house. Let's go.
The rules were simple. Whoever scored the highest number of free kicks would be declared the winner. Ronaldo opened the show with a rocket, while the guys missed.
Now go get yourself a drink.
They went shot after shot, and he just kept scoring. And after taking a huge L, they gave up and declared him the winner.
You won. Congratulations, man.
But after getting embarrassed like this, you would expect these guys to steer clear of footballers. But no, they challenged the almighty Manuel Neuer. The free kickers knew it was a bad idea to challenge one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time in penalty shootouts. I mean, even professional footballers struggle to get past this guy. But they had a trick up their sleeve. Instead of a regular shootout, Neuer was to hold a ball with both hands and then attempt to stop all of their shots. This should have been easy, right? Boy, were they wrong. Neuer kept blocking shot after shot, even while being handicapped. They moved the shooting distance, hoping to gain an advantage, but the story was the same. So when they realized this was a lost cause, they declared him the winner.
So Jungs, das waren die Challenges gegen Manuel Neuer.
This reminds me of a time yet another set of YouTubers challenged Mohamed Salah. Straight into the first challenge, Vuj and Salah each had 3 attempts to hit the target. High on confidence, Vuj went first and scored 2 out of his 3 attempts.
2?
Surely Salah is going to score all 3 if Vuj can do that. But to the shock of everyone, he missed all 3 of his attempts.
Off the post. Pressure's on. You would get. Pressure's on. Pressure's on. Next one. I've got that one.
After being embarrassed, Salah aced the second challenge, while Vuj missed all his attempts.
Oh la la la. Oh la. Oh la la la.
By the third challenge, Salah started taking the piss, scoring all 3 of his attempts with his weak foot. Realizing this was a lost cause, Vuj accepted defeat and spent the rest of the evening chilling with Salah. And now that we've gotten to our top 10, we have to bump things up a bit. Still to come is Alicia Lehman kicking balls, Ronaldinho embarrassing a volleyballer, and a $1 million challenge. But before we get to those, we have to see Speed getting destroyed by yet another footballer.
Oh, you keep talking to me! Shut up, bro! I can't focus!
Speed and Alphonso Davies met up for a game on FIFA. However, this one came with a rather interesting side bet.
If I win, you have to stop calling me Anthony Davies.
Okay, bet. And if I win, you have to, for the rest of your life, you have to say Ronaldo's the GOAT.
Okay, same goes for you. You have to say Messi's the GOAT. And also, you have to get a Messi jersey and wear on street.
Okay, bet. I'm not losing.
But as soon as the match started, Davies scored the first goal. Speed tried his best, but couldn't score. So when Davies scored his second and third goals, Speed just admitted defeat. But while Speed was getting embarrassed on FIFA, another YouTuber was challenging Salah's reactions. In a rather unexpected link-up, ProDirect's Cameron Corp took on Mo Salah in a speed and reaction challenge.
Three.
Damn! Getting trashed 10-1 must have really hurt. But at least he took it kindly, unlike Speed, who almost broke a legend's leg.
Blow my phone. Sorry, bro.
While playing in a charity match, Speed wasn't happy that his team was losing. So when he saw Kaka with the ball, he did this.
But here we go, because obviously having to defend Iman on the right.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's not going to be easy.
Speed tackles Ricardo Kaka.
Damn! Tackling a football legend like that? Speed must have forgotten it was a friendly match. Thankfully, he was smart enough to apologize when they met again. But I don't think Roberto Carlos will apologize for destroying the YouTubers at number 7. The free kickers had the opportunity of choosing any footballer for a free kick challenge, but they made the wrong decision taking on this man. To make things worse, they decided to go first, wasting shot after shot and only scoring a few. But when Carlos stepped up, he placed an unstoppable shot in the corner. To think, this man has been retired for over a decade. Pro footballers are on a different level, man. But at number 6, Kai Cenat embarrassed himself in front of thousands of fans. 5 minutes into the Sidemen charity football match, Kai Cenat celebrated scoring a goal despite being miles offside.
It's a speed situation, 2 points. It's a lovely finish.
This reminds me of the time my crush gave me her number.
Hey, could I have your number?
Only for me to find out it was fake.
Oh my God. Hell no.
But at number 5, Roberto Carlos took on the ultimate challenge. The challenge was to test the power of Carlos's shot. To do that, they lined up 15 styrofoam boards for him to smash through. Carlos took his iconic steps back, ran toward the ball, and destroyed all 15 sheets with the Thunderbolt. After making light work of that, they increased the difficulty to wood. Carlos did his run-up again and destroyed the piece of wood. They probably should have given up at this point, but they increased the difficulty to plastic. Carlos once again smashed the plastic with his rocket.
Come on.
For their final test, they put up a stone wall. Surely there's no way he can smash past stone. This time, Carlos took several extra steps back, ran, and completely destroyed the stone wall. But at least it was just a stone, unlike Alicia Lehman, who smashed some balls at number 4. Famous YouTuber Saline Depth challenged Alicia Lehman to a series of tests. The first was a reaction challenge, which was more about fun than a test. However, things got interesting when they tried to catch balls blindfolded. The next challenge was to sit on the ball without looking at it. But the difference between the girls showed with the speed challenge. Alicia destroyed Celine. They moved on to the shooting challenge, where Alicia once again showed her class, before rounding things off with the task of controlling the ball in a small box. But while this was all fun and games, Speed provoked Messi into doing the unthinkable.
No, I don't like Messi, bro. Because he's short and he's bad and he's trash, bro.
It's no secret that Speed is one of Ronaldo's biggest fans. He's been to games, tattooed the footballer on his arm,
I love you, bro. Excuse me. I love you so much, bro. I did it.
But aside from all that, Speed has made it his life's work to torment Messi. The YouTuber went to an Inter Miami game wearing a Ronaldo jersey, and even made the crowd shout Ronaldo's name while Messi was playing on the pitch.
I'm in the wrong territory. Ronaldo better! Ronaldo! 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 Ronaldo!
After doing all these things, Speed tried to follow Messi on Instagram, only to realize he was blocked.
Watch this, watch this. And I can't DM him, right?
Damn, getting blocked by Messi is wild, bro. But not as wild as what Ronaldinho did at number 2. The guys at Shoot for Love wanted to do a control challenge. They could have invited Lukaku, but chose to challenge the great Ronaldinho. To start, they passed him the ball to bring him up to speed. But when they realized he never lost his touch, they increased the difficulty by asking him to control a volleyball serve. After passing that test with flying colors, they increased the difficulty to a jump serve. That's when Ronaldinho showed why he is considered one of the greatest players of all time. But at number 1, Cristiano Ronaldo took on a YouTuber in a $1 million challenge.
This subscriber can be Ronaldo. I'm going to give him $1 million.
Do you think I'm gonna beat you?
Mr. Beast invited a YouTuber for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Beat Cristiano Ronaldo in a football challenge and win $1 million.
If this subscriber can be Ronaldo in a 1v1, I'm going to give him $1 million.
I mean, how much more difficult could it get? This man is literally a GOAT. But then again, it's $1 million. However, Khalid was confident and even gave himself a 50% chance of defeating Ronaldo.
He's your number 1 fan? I'm his number 1 fan. You're a stutter.
The challenge was to hit some targets lined up on the crossbar. Whoever hit the most would be declared the winner. In the first round, both of them missed.
All right, no targets hit. Oh, they both missed, they both missed.
But in the second round, Khalid shocked everyone by hitting his target. However, the greater shock was Ronaldo missing the target again. Khalid couldn't believe his luck when he hit a second target while Ronaldo missed again.
In history.
With his entire future at stake, Khalid stepped up for one last shot, hit the target, and his life would be changed forever.
Let's go. Good luck. Thank you.
Give him space. Come on, Khalid.
And he did!
It's $1 million.
Khalid actually did it! He defeated Cristiano Ronaldo to win $1 million. However, I have to ask, did Ronaldo allow him to win?
Ronaldo wants me to lose $1 million.
Or is the GOAT washed? I'll leave you to answer that in the comments section.
Still, while Ronaldo might have let Khalid win that challenge, there are skills so disrespectful that football authorities had to step in. Let's check them out in the football skills that have been banned forever. If you enjoy watching football videos on YouTube like me, then you've definitely seen these African skills. It's called the Kasi flavor, and it came straight from the streets of South Africa. The kind of stuff that makes defenders question every life choice that led them to this moment. But UEFA? Nah. They took one look at this and said, absolutely not. I'm gonna lose my shit. See, doing elaborate skills is considered unsportsmanlike in Europe. God forbid someone actually entertains the crowd instead of passing sideways for 90 minutes. So if a player dares to stand on the ball, they're getting booked instantly. But if you think banning street skills is bad, wait till you hear what FIFA did to the most creative free kick in football history. Back in 1970, during a match between Coventry and Everton, Coventry won a free kick about 25 meters from goal. At that distance, everyone expected a thunderous shot aimed straight at the top corner. Instead, Willie Carr grabbed the ball between his feet, flicked it into the air like it was nothing, and set up one of the most insane free kicks football had ever witnessed. The entire stadium went absolutely mental. Never in the history of the sport had anyone attempted something that creative. I mean, this was the caveman discovering fire. But when images of the free kick dominated headlines worldwide, it scared the living daylights out of FIFA. They saw footballers getting funny ideas and immediately called an emergency meeting to ban it. And since we're speaking of players getting way too creative for their own good, the skill at number 12 literally turned a shirt into a weapon. If you're a fan of street football, you've seen freestylers do this skill 1,000 times. It's called the shirt lock, and it looks absolutely ridiculous, but also kind of cool. But how insane would it look if someone actually tried it in a professional match? Like, imagine someone pulling this off in the Premier League. Well, someone actually did. And let me tell you, FIFA's reaction was instant. They watched this happen once and immediately said,
Oh, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
nope, not in my sport. They ruled that if you run with the ball tucked in your shirt like you're shoplifting, your shirt becomes an extension of your hand, which, by the way, comes with a complimentary yellow card. But the skill at number 11 didn't just get banned. Nah, it got a player suspended for 4 whole months. In the early 2000s, Europe was flooded with Brazilian talent. Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo. These guys brought a brand of football that made defenders want to retire early. Pure joga bonito magic. But while they dominated Europe, their compatriot Carlon was causing absolute chaos back home with one signature move called the seal dribble. He'd balance the ball on his head and keep bouncing it while gliding past defenders. This move made him an overnight internet sensation before internet sensations were even a thing. Everyone loved it. Fans went wild every time he did it. Teammates hyped him up. Carlon was living his best life. Until he wasn't. During a match against Cruzeiro, Carlon decided to show off his party trick one more time. Atlético Mineiro were winning, and he thought, you know what? Let me cook. But before he could get far, a defender absolutely obliterated him. Like, we're talking career-ending tackle levels of violence. The Brazilian FA saw how badly things escalated and suspended the defender for 4 months. But FIFA? Nah. They went nuclear and banned the trick from football forever. Because if you can't stop someone legally, just make their skill illegal. Problem solved, right? Still, this is just 4 out of 14 banned tricks. Trust me, you need to see the Brazilian skill that was scrapped at number 1 because it's absolutely bonkers. But first, let's talk about how Neymar literally found a cheat code for penalties, and FIFA couldn't handle it. After becoming a viral sensation at Santos, Neymar's tricks and skills drew fans from every corner of the planet.
Neymar. Nossa. O que é isso, hein?
People couldn't get enough of this kid. While defenders usually suffered the most from his wizardry, Neymar discovered a way to absolutely torture goalkeepers too. Whenever he was awarded a penalty kick, he'd fake the shot before casually rolling it past the helpless keeper. Made them look silly every single time. He did this for 5 penalties straight. Not a single goalkeeper even came close to saving one. Neymar had literally hacked penalties, found the glitch in the matrix, and exploited it without mercy. FIFA watched this, panicked like their whole operation was falling apart, and immediately called a meeting to ban it. Can't have players making the game look too easy now, can we? But bro, FIFA's banning spree was just getting started. Wait till you see their excuse for banning the move at number 9. The name Ronaldinho is synonymous with pure magic. He was the living, breathing embodiment of Joga Bonito, making kids like me fall hopelessly in love with football. Every time he touched the ball, something special was about to happen. With his endless arsenal of skills, he'd embarrass defenders for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But one move caught FIFA's attention for all the wrong reasons: the knee lock. And you know what? Yeah, okay. I'll actually give FIFA this one, just this once. Imagine Lionel Messi trying this against Prime Pepe or Sergio Ramos. That's not a football match anymore. That's a crime scene waiting to happen.
No. Hell no. No.
So yeah, FIFA banned it for safety reasons. Fair enough. But if you thought that was justified, the penalty technique at number 8 absolutely had to be deleted from existence. Back in 2011, during a match between the UAE and Lebanon, something absolutely unhinged happened. The UAE were already dominating 6-2. The game was done and dusted. Then they got awarded another penalty. Their best taker, Tayyab Awana, stepped up to the spot and did the most disrespectful thing anyone has ever seen. A back heel penalty in a professional match against opponents who were already getting destroyed. Never before in the history of the sport had anyone been this audacious. However, the referee didn't care about all that and immediately gave him a yellow card for disrespecting his opponents. His own coach tore into him after the match, probably questioning every decision he'd ever made. And FIFA? They banned it forever. But yo, the technique at number 7 might genuinely be the most shameful thing footballers ever invented. In football, players are willing to do absolutely anything to gain an advantage, no matter how disgraceful or embarrassing, as long as they don't get caught. So you'll see them tripping over their own feet, screaming like they'd been shot after minimal contact, and even throwing themselves to the ground like gravity suddenly increased tenfold. All to win penalties or get opponents sent off. the number of penalties being awarded became absolutely ridiculous. Football started looking less like a sport and more like a diving competition. So, in 2017, the English FA said, enough is enough. We're done with this nonsense. They created a special panel to review diving incidents and imposed a 2-match ban for anyone caught simulation. Everton's Umar Niasse became the first victim of the new rule, got absolutely exposed and banned. However, with VAR now catching everything, this rule has taken a backseat. Can't dive when there's a camera catching you in 4K. But while diving is genuinely ruining the game, FIFA also decided to ban one of Neymar's most beautiful skills at number 6. And bro, the reasoning behind this one will make you question everything. In a match between Barcelona and Atletico Bilbao, Neymar attempted a rainbow flick and was immediately assaulted by his opponents, like straight up attacked on the pitch. But instead of punishing the Bilbao players for literally jumping him, the Spanish FA criticized Neymar for disrespecting his opponents. However, this wasn't even a one-time thing. Against Celta Vigo, Neymar tried the rainbow flick again and was once more brutalized for showboating. Fed up with Spain's hostility, Neymar moved to the French league, hoping for some freedom of expression. But France was somehow even worse. Not only was he criticized, but the referee actually booked him for attempting the skill. While FIFA hasn't officially announced a ban, referees have clearly been ordered to punish players who attempt this move. Now that we've reached the top 5, we're diving into banned skills you probably never even knew existed, starting with the most annoying tactic in all of football. When a team is winning a football match, they start acting like absolute clowns. Goalkeepers are taking an eternity before every goal kick, tying their shoes 17 times. Players faking injuries like they're auditioning for an Oscar. Others are doing the most ridiculous things imaginable just to kill precious seconds. With FIFA out of ideas on how to stop this, the MLS has proposed something that could be an actual game changer. If players are injured for more than 15 seconds, they're forced to leave the field for 2 minutes. Exception only for head injuries, goalkeepers, or genuinely serious injuries. Additionally, players who are substituted must leave the field within 10 seconds, or their replacement gets delayed by a minute. Harsh, but necessary. Keeping track of this would be an absolute nightmare. But if the MLS can pull it off, FIFA might adopt it worldwide. Finally, some real consequences for time wasting. But as annoying as time wasting is, it's absolutely nothing compared to the psychological warfare goalkeepers wage at number 4. Before a player even strikes a penalty, they're fighting an intense psychological war with the goalkeeper. We've seen Wojciech Szczesny successfully get in Lionel Messi's head, made one of the greatest players ever second-guess himself. Even penalty expert Cristiano Ronaldo, Mr. Clutch himself, fell victim to a goalkeeper's mind games. But the absolute worst, the most savage display of psychological torture was Emi Martinez's performance at the 2022 World Cup. Man was an absolute menace. He successfully won 2 separate penalty shootouts for Argentina through pure mental dominance. Dancing, talking trash, doing everything possible to get in their heads. FIFA watched this masterclass and immediately held an emergency meeting. They introduced a whole bunch of new rules. Goalkeepers must stay on the line, face the kicker, and not touch the crossbar or net until the ball is kicked. Additionally, they must behave in a manner that shows respect for the game and the opponent. Translation: stop being too good at your job. Stop winning through tactics and strategy. They're literally trying to turn goalkeepers into mannequins. Just stand there and react. Don't think, don't strategize, don't use your brain. But honestly, I have absolutely no clue why the move at number 3 was even banned. This one makes zero sense. With the way modern attackers press high up the pitch like rabid dogs, defenders are often forced into tight spots where their only option is passing back to their goalkeeper. But in a match between PSG and Nantes, Marco Verratti was penalized for creatively passing the ball. The entire stadium was confused. Verratti looked confused. His teammates looked confused. The fans looked confused. Nobody had any idea what had just happened. Then it happened again. During a match between Inter and Roma, Inter won a free kick ridiculously close to their goalkeeper. Ivan Perisic decided to get creative with the passback. The referee immediately blew his whistle and gave him a yellow card. So I did some digging to figure out what was going on. Turns out, FIFA had already banned this type of play. They decided that players cannot manipulate a back pass to the goalkeeper in any creative way. Once they try, the referee has full authority to blow against them and issue a yellow card. But just when you thought FIFA couldn't possibly ruin football any further, they struck again at number 2. For those who've watched football long enough, seeing legends like Ronaldinho and Diego Maradona juggling the ball and resting it perfectly on their heads or necks was pure art. This was the favorite skill every kid tried to master growing up. Hours spent in the backyard trying to balance a ball on your head like the legends did. But FIFA decided this beautiful piece of artistry was too risky for professional matches and banned the neck and head stall from football forever. Because apparently we can't have nice things. Football is slowly having its soul surgically removed, skill by skill, trick by trick. But for our number 1 pick, we're taking a trip to South America. And bro, this story is absolutely wild. I still can't believe this actually happened. After winning the first leg of the Brazilian Cup final against Palmeiras, Depay and his teammates knew they only needed a draw to secure the trophy. So the second leg was tense, cagey, and absolutely brutal. Both teams were playing like their lives depended on it. With literally seconds left on the clock and the trophy basically secured, Depay decided to have some fun and waste time with a little Joga Bonito flair. He stood on the ball, just casually stood on it like it was the most normal thing in the world. Chaos. Absolute chaos erupted. Players from both teams completely lost their minds. A full-blown brawl nearly broke out on the pitch. The Brazilian FA watched this happen and immediately called an emergency meeting. They banned the move faster than you can say blink. Any player who stands on the ball now receives a yellow card and concedes an indirect free kick to the opponent. Let me repeat that one more time so it sinks in. A trick was banned in Brazil, the birthplace of Joga Bonito, the home of beautiful football. The country that literally invented flair and creativity on the pitch. Even Neymar, the king of skills himself, criticized the decision publicly, said football was becoming boring, losing its soul. And when the greatest showman in modern football says the game is dying, you know we've gone way too far. But as controversial as banning skills might be, nothing beats the raw aggression of trash talking. I'm talking about players calling out entire countries, insulting opponents, and starting beef that lasts for years. You have to see the most legendary trash talking in football.
And first, the time Emi Martinez trash-talked the great CR7.
As well, which was causing problems as we head to the final ball. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say we would see who would be taking the penalty for Manchester United, whether Fernandes or Cristiano
Wait,
Ronaldo.
did bro just challenge the king of penalties to take a penalty?
Bruno Fernandes misses. It almost ended up in the top tier, the Stretford end.
Puts it into orbit. Mission abort. Repeat. Mission abort.
That's crazy. But still not as insane as number 29, where a player asked Ibrahimovic who he was. While arguing, Ibrahimovic looked behind Paul Bass's jersey and asked, "Who the f*** are you?" This pissed Paul off so bad that he had to return the favor.
Who the f*** are you?
And since we're talking about checking jerseys, an opposing player wanted Ronaldo's shirt so badly. You see, back when Ronaldo was a teenager, he was unhappy about how a defender was manhandling him. So when the referee intervened, he offered to give him his jersey right then and there.
Oh, yes. Now you know why.
You want my shirt? He said, have it now.
Confident young man, isn't he?
But even this savagery is nothing compared to what he did to another player at number 27. During a match between Roma and Juventus, Ronaldo fell easily after a tackle by one of the Roma defenders. But the Roma captain was having none of it and tried to talk trash, only to get roasted by Ronaldo.
Just a little bit disjointed at the moment. Florenzi getting in around with Ronaldo.
Florenzi furious with Ronaldo. His actions there, that you've got a lot to say for someone so small. Florenzi did like that, understandably.
Jacko finds Florenzi, who's in! Oh, what a good finish from the captain!
Damn! Telling someone to shut up and then calling him a midget? That's just nasty. But not as crazy as what Iwobi did at number 26.
This player has bad manners, and this is the reason why he has bad manners. Alex Iwobi and Amaringo.
Stadium. Why is it Iwobi Stadium?
I don't care what the argument was about. He didn't have to do bro like that. There's just no coming back from such humiliation. Now this is just 5 out of the 30 moments we have lined up. I suggest you grab a quick snack and relax, because still to come is Ibrahimovic beefing with Lukaku, Messi disrespecting a coach, and Ronaldo slapping an opponent. But before we get to those, we have to see Dybala making his opponent cry.
He's saying that Dybala kicked out at him.
In a match between Lazio and Roma, Dybala was in the mood for some action. A younger player told him that Lazio's Guendouzi had been talking trash. Instantly, Dybala knew he had to stand up for his boy. So when he got the chance, he provoked Guendouzi, calling him a shit footballer and mocked France for losing the World Cup final to Argentina. But while this was just old school banter, the player at number 24 took things to a whole new level. In a shocking fit of rage, Douglas Costa elbowed Francesco for what he perceived as a horrible challenge. However, the referee was able to calm things down. Or so he thought.
The cross in, and the header was superb.
The players squared off again, calling themselves all sorts of names before Costa ended the argument by spitting on Francesco's face.
Douglas Costa was sent off a straight red.
Damn! I would have thrown hands if that were me. But at number 23, Neymar got humbled when he tried to trash talk his opponent. After giving away a penalty, Neymar thought he could mess with Soboslai's head, only to get embarrassed by the Hungarian.
Sure you want to do that? A little bit of mind games, maybe. The 2-2, right at the end in Leipzig. And he does it!
After the game, he was asked what Neymar said to him.
What did Neymar say to you?
He was asking me, you gonna score? I say yes. Yeah, he said to me, are you sure? I say yes, I never miss.
Yeah, Neymar's not very good at trash talking. But the player at number 22 took things a little too personally.
And you? Shut up. Now you are in the same place as me. Shut up.
Lucas Podolski and Eric Exposito got into a heated argument, but what the German said to him was bang out of order.
Hey, but you don't look that he kicked me. You don't look. You don't look he kicked me. You don't look. So wait, and shut up. Shut up. Shut up and wait. Shut up. And you? Shut up. Now you are in the same place as me. Shut up. Come on. Bye. Bye.
Be humble. Be humble. Be humble.
That's such a disrespectful thing to say to a fellow footballer. But at least he only said hurtful words, unlike Ronaldo, who slapped his opponent.
I think Ronaldo's just threw a punch at that O'Shea.
This happened in a crucial World Cup qualifier against Ireland. The Irish had taken a shocking 1-0 lead into halftime. But as the second half resumed, they conceded a penalty. But as Ronaldo was preparing the ball, O'Shea walked up to him, screamed, "Messi is the GOAT," and kicked the ball away.
O'Shea kicks it away, look.
What? There was contact with his shoulder from Ronaldo, as you saw.
I can't lie, that slap was brutal. However, Ronaldo ended up missing the penalty. But with a few minutes left, Ronaldo came up clutch to earn his country a much-deserved win.
How difficult was it for you, considering that you missed that early penalty?
It's part of the game. It's part of the business. Sometimes you score, sometimes you mistake. It's part of the business. But I still believe to the end of the game. So I'm so glad to score and to winning the game.
Still, Ronaldo silencing his haters couldn't break our top 20. That's because we've still got Benzema cooking his teammate and Salah beefing with Mane to come. But before we get to those, we have to see another Emi Martinez masterclass. In a penalty shootout between Argentina and Colombia, Emi Martinez was in the mood for some mind games again. As soon as he saw Yerry Mina pick up the ball, he started talking trash.
Tonight, Yerry Mina.
My Spanish is not that good, but I heard him call Mina a shit footballer, tell him he was nervous, and say all sorts of stuff to him. In the end, Mina proved Martinez right by shooting the ball straight into his hands.
Against Uruguay. Running hard fire.
It's interesting
They played together on separate teams in England.
To be honest, I don't know who did it better, Martinez or the keeper at number 19. In a match between Porto and Maritimo, the goalkeeper did the opposite of talking trash. He called Telles a big player, asking to be chipped.
Do pontapé de penalti, Alex Telles vai ter nos pés a possibilidade de marcar. Autoriza o árbitro Rui Costa.
However, Tellez missed the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. But at number 18, Babel became a Hollywood star. In a match between Ajax and Getafe, Ryan Babel wasn't impressed with Alan Nyam's theatrical performance, so he decided to show him how it's done. He stood up, called Nyam a diver, and asked if he was done crying. But what Costa did at number 17 was far more humiliating than this. During a match between Chelsea and Stoke City, Diego Costa looked Shawcross dead in the face and told him he stank.
What the hell?
Poor Shawcross. He didn't even know what to say after being violated like that. But the player at number 16 was embarrassed for diving. Unimpressed by Ansu Fati's antics, Alan Nyam stood on top of the Barcelona player to express his disappointment. But after the referee ushered him off, he waited for Fati to get back to his feet and said, "You're 18 and already a diver?" Which feels hypocritical, considering what Nyam did at number 18. But at number 15, Neil Maupay made the entire Tottenham team cry. In a match between Tottenham and Brentford, Neil Maupay pissed the Tottenham players off when he recreated James Maddison's celebration.
Goal was disallowed. Brentford do get one this time.
So after the match, this was what Maddison had to say.
What did you say to Neil Maupay? What was going on in that conversation? James, tell us.
I just said to him, he probably hasn't scored enough goals of his own over the last few years to have his own celebration, so he probably had to copy mine.
However, Maupay wasn't about to let things slide. So he went on Twitter and posted, "More goals and fewer relegations in my career than James Maddison."
Oh my God. Hell no.
But as ridiculous as this beef was, it is nothing compared to what Hart did to Keita. After battling to an entertaining 2-2 draw, the match between Manchester City and Roma was to be decided by penalty shootouts.
Kolarov, well, he got the power.
As soon as Keita started walking down, Joe Hart began trash-talking. Keita smiled back as if to say, "I've got this," only to be embarrassed by the brilliant Hart.
Keita, Joe Hart did know!
But as crazy as this was, it is nothing compared to the legendary battle at number 13. After a heated match between Chelsea and Tottenham, the coaches wanted to tear each other apart.
And it's finished.
What?
Oh, it hasn't finished. Correction. It's only just started.
Damn! If only they could settle the score in the boxing ring. But while these two were rivals, the next trash talk happened between teammates. In 2014, Jose Mourinho was caught on camera accusing one of his own players of falsifying his age.
Il va de mieux en mieux, je dirais, quand même. Il est mieux qu'au début, en tout cas. Non?
32 ans, peut-être 35, je ne sais pas.
Obviously, Etu didn't like what he said, and as fate would have it, he scored the opening goal in the very next match. What an insane way to shut up your coach! Coming in at number 11, another player cooked up his opponent. During a match between Mexico and the United States, Matt Miazga didn't like the way Diego Lainez tackled him, so he decided to mock the player's height. I have to ask, why do short guys always get angry when someone mocks their height? I suppose we'll never know. But now that we've made it to our top 10, it only means one thing. We're taking trash talk to a whole different level. I'm talking about Ronaldo's battle with the goalkeeper and Messi cooking up a coach. However, we'll have to get to those later on, because at number 10, Benzema mocked his teammates' performance. During halftime in a Champions League match against Mönchengladbach, Benzema was caught on camera trash-talking Vinny's performance. He told Mendy, "Don't play with him. On my mother's life, he is playing against us." In other words, he called Vinny a shit footballer. This reminds me of the time Bellingham tried to trash talk Harry Kane. While preparing to take a crucial penalty, Jude Bellingham walked up to his international teammate Harry Kane to try to distract him with trash talk. But the veteran striker ignored his comments to bury his penalty emphatically.
There's a fallout.
There's a fallout?
A bit of housery going on there.
Yeah.
None of them as big as this.
But everyone wants to know, what was Jude saying to you before you took the penalty?
To be honest, I don't know what he was saying. I saw him there mumbling. I'd have to ask him what he actually said.
But at number 8, Messi put a loudmouth in his place. In the build-up to the match between Argentina and Netherlands, the Dutch coach held a press conference and called Messi a lazy player. Messi is the most dangerous, creative player. He is able to help create a lot and to score goals himself. But when they lose the ball, he doesn't participate much. This gives us chances. Messi was unhappy with what the coach said. So when he scored from the penalty spot, he ran straight to the bench and did this. After the game, Messi still confronted the coach to give him a piece of his mind.
Van Gaal saying we got an advantage in penalties. If we go to penalties, we win. I think he needs to keep his mouth shut.
And when Weghorst tried to talk to him, he basically called him a donkey.
Con Leo Messi. Bueno, Leo, quedaste un poco caliente por el final.
¿Qué mira, bobo? ¿Qué mira, bobo? Anda para allá, bobo. Anda para allá.
Tranquilo, Leo.
But if Messi is doing this to his opponents, you're damn sure Ronaldo will do the same thing. On his 100th appearance for Juventus, Ronaldo smashed in a penalty to open the scoring.
It almost ended up at Villa Park. That's how high it went.
11 minutes later, the referee awarded another penalty. And as Ronaldo was about to take it, the goalkeeper started talking trash. But Ronaldo, who is the master of mind games, converted his shot and talked trash right back to the keeper. I guess the keeper didn't put his money where his mouth was.
No.
But the guys at number 6 wanted to tear each other to shreds. Despite sharing the same stadium, matches between Inter and Milan are always intense affairs. But during the 2021 version of the Milan Derby, Lukaku and Ibrahimovic had a clash of epic proportions.
Lukaku viene attaccato da Romagnoli e da Kessie. Va a terra Lukaku che si arrabbia nei confronti dell'avversario, in particolare di Romagnoli. Faccia a faccia arriva Kessie a spingere Lukaku, si accendono gli animi del derby.
Damn! I would pay whatever it takes to watch a fight between these two. But while Ibrahimovic was ready to fight here, he had different plans for the player at number 5. In yet another Milan derby, Inter goalkeeper Julio Cesar was feeling confident when Ibrahimovic stepped up for his penalty. He walked up to the big man and said all manner of trash.
It's a massive moment in a war of words, mind games from Julio Cesar.
Well, these guys hate each other. Inter and AC Milan.
But despite all his antics, Ibrahimovic scored the goal and paid back with his own trash talk.
This in the Milan derby, Ibrahimovic, no doubt about it. 27 goals in Serie A and none.
But either way, it's just positive. There's that little cachicazo, the slap that's not.
But the coach at number 4 was humbled by an Olympic swimmer.
Theatrical dive right in front of David Moyes.
Heading into the Merseyside Derby of 2012, the Everton coach called Luis Suarez a diver and a cheat. These accusations didn't sit well with Suarez, so when he opened the scoring for Liverpool, he ran straight to the Everton coach and did this.
And he's pulled it across. Sterling went down, but it's fallen to Suarez anyway. And Luis Suarez strikes as Liverpool hit first in the Merseyside derby.
Well, he must have taken a deflection. I don't think it's...
What do you make of the Luis Suarez celebration, Chris?
I thought it was great. I actually quite like that.
But at number 3, Ibrahimovic cooked another loudmouth. After getting into a fight with Duvan Zapata, Ibrahimovic turned to the Atalanta striker and said, "I've got more goals than you have appearances in your career." Damn. Bro didn't have to do him dirty like that. Same way Salah shouldn't have snitched on Mane.
He's given away the penalty.
5 minutes into the 2021 AFCON final, Egypt gave away a penalty to their fierce rivals Senegal. But as Mane was preparing to take the spot kick, his Liverpool teammate Salah went to his goalkeeper and basically snitched. Upset about this, Mane tried to trash talk, but the goalkeeper was already locked in and stopped the penalty with ease.
A much bigger penalty now, and it is Senegal who missed the opportunity, and a wonderful save from Abu Gabal.
However, Mane wasn't about to let Salah get one over him. So when he scored the winning penalty in the shootout, he celebrated like his life depended on it.
Saved now. Oh, Salah can't bear to watch. Mane! Senegal are African champions.
But now, it's time for the most legendary trash talk in football history.
You call me arrogant. And French people are famous for being arrogant. So I'm exactly like you. So you should love me.
After a 3-2 defeat in the French league, Zlatan Ibrahimovic put everything on the line when he confronted the referee.
don't even deserve PSG should be in this country.
He called France a shit country and claimed the nation didn't deserve PSG. This rant became so controversial that Ibrahimovic was forced by the French sports minister to issue an apology.
First of all, I was not aiming for the people or whoever there. When I said it, I was angry in that moment. And whoever felt offended or took it in a wrong way, if they took it, I apologize for them. I have no problem.
But while Zlatan's rant shocked the sports minister, football still has its wholesome moments. Check them out in the craziest moments with female referees.
And first, the time a player almost committed the worst crime ever. During a match between Nautico and Retro FC, the referee was summoned by VAR after Jean Carlos elbowed his opponent. After a lengthy VAR check, the referee came back to the pitch, pulled out a red card, and all hell broke loose.
Fez o sinal, completou a revisão. E cartão vermelho, tá expulso e ainda vai peitar a Débora Cecília. Que é isso? Calma, Jean Carlos. Calma, Jean Carlos. Perdeu completamente o senso. Calma, Jean Carlos.
If he could behave like this in front of thousands, I wonder what he does to his girlfriend at home. But while this referee was threatened, the lady at number 24 pranked a footballer. During a friendly match in the Ecuadorian League, female referee Fernanda Colombo rushed to book a player. But instead of bringing out a yellow card, she brought out a handkerchief and dabbed her forehead. Yeah, I don't blame the player for blushing that hard. While this was all fun and games, the player at number 23 did the unthinkable. In the 55th minute of the match between Hertha Berlin and Aachen, Niemeyer stretched his hands toward referee Bibiana Steinhaus and touched her inappropriately.
Rückwärtslaufen auf Tuchfühlung mit Schiedsrichterin Bibiana Steinhaus. Die wundert sich kurz, nimmt die Kontaktaufnahme, aber mit Humor.
Was this deliberate or an honest mistake? Either way, the referee's reaction was all class. She shrugged it off and continued her job. And since we're talking about the German league, we have to see the time Robbery messed with the referee's shoe. While preparing to take a free kick, Franck Robbery decided to prank the referee by untying her shoelaces. This drew a reaction from her, but when Robbery scored the resulting free kick, they decided to chat about the incident. By the way, this was the same referee as number 23. Bibiana Steinhaus is such a chill woman. But at number 21, a referee booked a player for being too handsome.
What the hell?
This happened in a friendly match between Brazilian legends and Israeli legends. Kaka received the ball on the half turn, but as soon as he advanced with the ball, the referee rushed towards him and gave him a yellow card. For what, he probably thought. He looked perplexed. But when the referee brought out a phone for a selfie, that's when he knew what his crime was. However, as lovely as this moment was, it still couldn't break into our top 20. How could it, when we've got a referee fainting and a proposal to come? But before we get to those, the Bundesliga has served up another banger at number 20.
There's no point complaining, Felix Kors. That's just the way it goes.
In a match between Union Berlin and Greuther Fürth, the referee mistakenly set up an assist for the Fürth goal.
For their equaliser, 10 minutes to go. Felixner tries to clear, it's come off of Bibiana Steinhaus to Zern, and it's in! My word!
Under normal circumstances, the referee should have called the play back after interfering. But for whatever reason, she allowed the goal to stand. I don't know how I would have reacted if I were a Union fan, because losing a match due to a referee's assist is simply unacceptable. And speaking of inappropriate behavior, the player at number 19 took things a little too personally. During a third division match in Colombia, Javier Bolivar and the referee, Vanessa Caballos, got into a confrontation after she gave him a red card. In the heat of the argument, Bolivar slapped the referee. This pissed her off badly, so she tried to kick at Bolivar. However, she was restrained and calmed by other officials. Bolivar's actions drew widespread criticism, and eventually, his club terminated his contract. Bolivar himself came out to apologize, calling his actions disrespectful and inappropriate. The case sparked further discussion on the protection of female referees in men's football. But the player at number 18 saw this and decided to repair the relationship between players and referees. After being flagged for offside in a friendly match, Brazilian legend Denilson went to the linesman and gave her a warm hug. From the way Unk was moving, you could tell he was a player back in the day. However, this wasn't the only time he got involved with a female referee. While playing in another friendly match, Denilson tried to riz a linesman after she flagged him for offside. But while the lady at number 18 played along, this linesman was in no mood for games. The officiating referee, who was a woman herself, didn't like what he did. She gave him a stern warning and told him such behavior would not be tolerated. Damn! Is she mad because he wasn't flirting with her? Never mind. At number 16, a referee got overwhelmed by the crowd. After reviewing a goal in the Women's World Cup, a Korean referee got confused about how to say her final decision.
After the review, no goal, no offside. No offside. Final decision, goal.
Oh my God. Hell no. The no is killing me. Was she overwhelmed by the noise from the crowd? Or did she just remember the breakup text she got that morning? I guess we'll never know. But as tough as this might have been for her, it is nothing compared to what happened at number 15. Back in the Brazilian league again, this Santos FC player thought he could bully the linesman when she gave the call against him. Unfortunately for him, he screamed at Pablo Escobar's Brazilian mistress. Nah, I'm just kidding. She's just a referee who can stand up for herself, which cannot be said for the lady at number 14. In a match between Real Madrid women and Athletic Bilbao women, the referee fell like a sack of potatoes when a shot hit her. Damn! Do women hit balls that hard? Or is this referee a little too soft? But for the referee at number 13, hanging out with Ronaldo was a chance she couldn't miss. During a match between Al Nassr and Al Hilal, Ronaldo was furious with the officiating of the female referee. he went as far as asking her to be substituted. But when someone else tried to mess with her, he came to her aid and even picked up her pen for her. That smile. You could tell she enjoyed chatting with the GOAT. This reminds me of another referee who had an encounter with an Arsenal player. In a match between Arsenal and Man City, Arsenal defender Thomas Vermaelen got a little too excited when clearing the ball. For a second, he almost let his intrusive thoughts take over. Thankfully, he composed himself and continued the game. But the moment that comes at number 11 is one of the craziest you'll ever see.
Now this one might surprise you. You see,
while coming on as a substitute, Cristian Molinaro saw it as a perfect opportunity to show the referee his work tools. And from the way she smiled, you could tell she liked what she saw. But even such a crazy moment couldn't break into our top 10. Still to come is a romantic proposal, a blind referee, and one of the biggest blunders in football history. Before we see those, let's head back to the Brazilian League for another showdown. In a match between Santos and Corinthians, Memphis Depay committed a foul that caught the referee's attention. When she tried talking to him about it, bro started falling in love. But when he tried to hold her by the neck, she quickly gave him an L. Embarrassed by being rejected, Depay went to Neymar for consolation, only to get mocked again. But while this was a fun moment, there was nothing nice about what happened at number 9. During a match in the Argentine lower leagues, Cristian Tironi was unhappy that the referee sent off his goalkeeper. So when he noticed she wasn't looking, he rushed in and sucker punched her. This is so disgusting and cowardly. How do you sucker punch anyone, let alone a woman, and still have the shamelessness to keep fighting? This man should never be allowed close to a football field ever again. The same can be said for the player at number 8. Unhappy with the linesman's decision, this Sao Paulo player tried to bully the female referee. But being from the streets herself, she stood her ground until the main referee broke up the fight. I'll tell you what, if all female referees were like this, maybe the disrespect would have ended a long time ago. However, the referee at number 7 is one of the reasons that might never happen. During a match between the US women's national team and the Lionesses of England, the referee gave a penalty for this, despite the incident happening right in front of her.
Cued perfectly, but almost worked out for them. Lavelle striking the almost worked out for them. Lavelle striking the defender. Penalty. Handball, no doubt. In the referee's mind there.
Did she forget her glasses? Or was she on medication? Because how else would she have explained this awful decision? Thankfully, VAR intervened and saved her blushes.
Yeah, Luxembourg's just telling him to get away because VAR will sort it out, and it just hit her backside, didn't it? So there's no point at that.
But if you think this was bad, wait until you see what happens at number 6.
Oh, how could that have happened?
This incident takes us all the way to the Australian League. Montenillo of the Newcastle Jets thought he had doubled his team's lead, but to the shock of everyone in the stadium, the lineswoman flagged offside.
Interesting. Alessi just backed off and Hull sensed the opportunity. He's got him for pace. And now Hull looking for Montagno is going to have a tap in. It's going to be 2-0 to the Newcastle Jets. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Offside flag up against Montagno.
Now let's take a look at the replay.
Breaking forward. Fantastic opportunity. Montagno coming in.
Where on earth did she see offside? Even the commentators couldn't believe what their eyes were seeing.
Oh, how could that have happened?
Instances like this are why women rarely get the opportunity to officiate men's games. But while that might be the case, it's no excuse for what Aguero did at number 5.
You have to take into consideration that if she feels that that was towards her in a threatening manner because she's a woman, then again, there is absolutely no room for it.
During a match between Arsenal and Manchester City, Sergio Aguero was unhappy with the linesman's decision. But instead of just talking, he aggressively grabbed her shoulder. This seemingly simple act drew heavy criticism from the press, with many fans calling for the striker to be punished.
Sergio seemed to put his arm around the lineswoman and she
Come on,
pushed him away.
Come on, guys. Sergio's the nicest person that I've ever met in my life, so we can discuss. Take the problems, look the problems in other situations, not in this.
Eventually, no punishment was given, and the matter died naturally. But at number 4, a player crashed into a referee. In another match in the Brazilian League, a player lost control and crashed into a referee and the advertising board. But when you look at the replay, it looks a little too convenient.
Oh my God. Hell no.
This reminds me of Guardiola's episode with a female referee. While trying to complain about something to the 4th official, Pep Guardiola subconsciously put his arm around her neck, but she was having none of it. I don't blame her. He came towards her looking all aggressive, only for him to put his hands on her neck? But the decision that happened at number 2 is one of the biggest blunders in football history. It happened in a World Cup game between Australia and Equatorial Guinea. The Aussies played a cross, which they couldn't convert. But as the ball bounced off the post, the Guinea defender grabbed the ball with her hands before dropping it for the goalkeeper. Wait, what? That didn't go out of play. Surely that must be a penalty. However, the referee was feeling too generous and allowed the play to continue despite all the protests. But now, it's time for the craziest moment involving female referees. Seconds before kickoff, this assistant referee went down on one knee to propose to his colleague. It took her completely by surprise, but she said yes in front of 40,000 passionate fans. May their love for themselves and the beautiful sport never end.
But as beautiful as this proposal was, football can be absolutely ridiculous. I'm talking about bizarre celebrations, unbelievable blunders, and moments that make no sense. Let's check all these out in the most ridiculous moments in football history. And first, the time Suarez made a shocking decision. After losing the League Cup final to the Seattle Sounders, Luis Suarez couldn't handle the L like a man. So he walked up to one of the coaches and did this. Spitting on a man old enough to be your father, even Messi couldn't believe what his eyes were seeing. But as ridiculous as this was, it is nothing compared to what happens at number 24. In a match between Hertha Berlin and Aachen, Neymar was feeling a little freaky, So when the referee wasn't looking, he stretched his hands to feel her out.
Laufen auf Tuchfühlung mit Schiedsrichterin Viviana Steinhaus.
The question is, was this a mistake, or did bro let his intrusive thoughts win? Either way, he was lucky to get off the hook that easily. But sadly, not all players are lucky, because for our 23rd moment, what started as a guy standing in the tunnel turned into a bloody mess. After the match between PSG and Bastia, CCTV footage showed Brandao waiting in the tunnel. As soon as Motta came close, he headbutted him and took off into his dressing room.
Nico Williams.
Arrive Thiago Motta. Brandao se dirige alors vers lui et lui assène un violent coup de tête avant de prendre la fuite. Thiago Motta a le nez en sang, Claude Maquelele tente de faire redescendre la tension. L'entraîneur Basti a déclaré qu'il prendrait lui-même des sanctions contre son joueur si celui-ci était à l'origine de l'incident.
Motta tried to go after him, but bro turned into Usain Bolt. Eventually, the officials caught up with Brandao and asked why he attacked Motta. He said it was because Motta kept insulting during the game. Wait, what? What happened to what happens in the game stays in the game? Unfortunately, bro's moment of madness earned him a 6-month ban and a 1-year prison sentence. And speaking of breaking the law, a player's 18th birthday turned into a legal and PR disaster.
Da qualche parte tra le montagne, quando il sole cala e le ombre si allungano.
See, when Lamine Yamal turned 18, he wanted to throw a big party. But while everyone expected him to invite a bunch of girls, bro hired a group of dwarves to entertain him.
What?
Sadly for him, the Association of Dwarves in Spain didn't like what he did. So they wrote to the Spanish government to investigate and prosecute Yamal for his actions. Damn, bro might just be the villain this sport needs. But while Yamal is out there living his best life, the player at number 21 got pranked by a ref. Imagine fouling someone in a game and you see the referee rushing towards you with hands in pockets. But instead of giving a card, she does this. She almost gave him a heart attack, but with that face she's got, he might just give her his heart by himself. However, even this fun moment couldn't break into our top 20, because still to come is a coach attacking his player and a couple kissing on live TV. We'll get to those eventually, because we need answers for the ridiculous blunder at number 20. Christopher Nkunku thought his lovely chip was going into the net. But out of nowhere, his own teammate made a ridiculous block.
Well played Alves and Nkunku! And Choupo-Moting has stopped it! Unbelievable! Choupo-Moting actually stopped that ball on the line!
Like, bro, just leave it.
Says it all.
But when you thought it couldn't get crazier than this, another guy made an even worse mistake at number 19. After his teammate had smuggled the ball past the keeper, William Akio came like a prancing horse to make a shocking block.
Tracks it down, opens up to his right boot, the cross towards Ricci, second effort and dribbles it, no!
What the hell?
Did Akio clear that off the line himself?
What the hell was he thinking? He could have just let the ball roll into the net. It's so obvious there's foul play here. I just can't prove it yet. Similarly, I cannot explain the craziness at number 18. After working his ass off to get a start, Adam Ljajic was substituted just 32 minutes into the game. And if you've played football at any level, you know that's a very hurtful thing to experience. So when Ljajic was walking past his coach, he said some words that triggered madness.
Sembra di notare problemi fisici per il giovane serbo, ma mi sembra strano comunque.
Incredibile, incredibile, incredibile. Una rissa di Aic Delirus. Mai vista una cosa del genere.
Damn, what did he even say to get him that upset? But not everything in this video is violent. The guy at number 17 discovered his inner lover boy. During the 2010 World Cup final, Iker Casillas made the biggest save of his career.
Played through for Robin. This is the chance. Arjen Robben is in. And Arjen Robben has been denied by Casillas. Great miss.
And after helping Spain win the World Cup, bro was in the mood to party. Unfortunately, he had to carry out his media duties, but while the reporter was talking, an arrow pierced through his heart, and at just the right moment, he kissed a stranger in front of the whole world. Scratch that, I'm just messing with you. The pair were already dating, so when his girl was interviewing him at his finest hour, he couldn't resist the temptation. I can't lie, man, kisses are such a romantic thing, but I doubt the player at number 16 will agree.
Oh no.
You see, during a match between Sunderland and Norwich, the players resorted to dark arts to try to win the game. But while everyone was kicking or insulting their opponents, Luke O'Nien did this.
Yeah, it's just that little nudge. It's dangerous for you to push him into a hoarding like that. And I think no player is going to be happy with being...
What the hell?
Wow, that is absolutely ridiculous. Sorensen was so shocked he couldn't even retaliate. But as crazy as this was, it's nothing compared to what happened at number 15. In a match between Mali and Tunisia, the Malians scored early and decided to park the bus. But after kicking the legs of their opponents all game, everyone expected a lengthy injury time. Everyone except the referee, who ended the game with 5 minutes of play left. After several protests, bro restarted the game, only to blow the final whistle again with 1 minute left. This ref might be the only person who can stop Liverpool from winning games this season.
Ici fait la fin du match, il nous demande d'aller au vestiaire. Tous les joueurs ils font le bain de glace pendant 35 minutes. Après il vient et il nous demande de revenir sur terrain. Ici fait la 89e minute.
Bon, nous, on nous a dit de nous mettre sur le terrain parce que le match était parti. Malheureusement, l'équipe adverse n'a pas voulu faire sa presse.
Ça fait presque 30 ans que je suis dans ce domaine et j'ai jamais vu une situation pareille.
But I wonder what would have happened if this guy had officiated the game at number 14.
Red carded. That will have an implication down the line, touchline bans and all that.
After a series of bad officiating led to a draw, the Chelsea manager desperately wanted a win. So when he went to shake Conte's hand, he turned it into arm wrestling.
And it's finished. It hasn't finished. Correction. It's only just started. In terms of...
I'll tell you what, I actually enjoyed the massive brawl. We all could do with a bit of extra action on the field. But I doubt the reporter at number 13 will agree with us on this one. While making her analysis before the start of a game, a stray ball knocked down Sky reporter Jessica Kastrop. While this might seem harmless, Jessica was forced to wear a protective helmet in her next appearance. But instead of running away from challenges, why not just be Jose Mourinho?
Shouldn't laugh, right?
During a match between Tottenham and Manchester City, Mourinho and his assistant were pleased when the referee denied Raheem Sterling a penalty. However, the assistant realized Sterling should have been sent off for a second yellow. So when he told his boss, this happened.
And now look at Jose, this is awesome. This is brilliant.
This man might be the biggest entertainer in football. Well, the fans of FC Rheinsberg might have something to say about that. Tired of seeing their team getting spanked, hardcore fans of FC Rheinsberg hired a stripper to motivate their players in a match. The lady ran onto the pitch naked and even flirted with a player. The smile on that guy's face, you just know he liked what he saw.
Nice.
However, the players ended up being too motivated and lost the game 6-2. And now that we've made it to our top 10, it only means one thing. We have to take these ridiculous moments to a whole new level. I'm talking about a girl snubbing Ronaldo and a player tied up like cargo. But before we get to those, we have to see the miracle that happened at number 10. When Atletico Madrid took on Elche, Alvaro Morata showed insane speed when he took on several defenders all by himself. But when he finally took a shot, he ended up hurting his leg. Or that's what we thought.
Morata, left-footed shot, takes a big deflection, it will bounce across the line. Morata is down, but Atletico Madrid. Oh, Morata quickly gets up to celebrate.
You see, Morata thought the ball was going out, but when it ended up in the net, he completely forgot he was injured and joined in the celebrations. And the best thing about miracles like this is that they happen more than once. In a match between Belgium and Italy, Immobile felt a tackle and fell as if his leg was chopped off. But as he was rolling desperately on the ground, his teammate, Nico Barella, scored a wonderful goal. Seeing his teammates celebrating, Immobile suddenly became mobile and joined in the celebrations. Morata and Immobile might be the most shameless footballers ever. But I have a question. If you saw Cristiano Ronaldo playing football on the street, would you be able to recognize him? Well, the people in the streets of Madrid couldn't recognize him when he disguised himself. One boy thought he was playing with a homeless guy, not knowing he was in the presence of his idol. Heck, one lady even denied him her phone number. I'm sure she regrets that now. But the full circle moment came when he took off his disguise. Fair play to Ronaldo for playing his part well. And since we're talking about acting, we have to see the time a player auditioned for Comedy Central. Back in 2014, Jose Mourinho was caught on camera calling Samuel Eto'o an old man.
Eto'o va de mieux en mieux, je dirais, quand même. Il est mieux qu'au début, en tout cas. Non?
32 ans, peut-être 35, je ne sais pas.
The video instantly became viral because Mourinho was Eto'o's coach. However, Eto'o knew he couldn't let the disrespect slide, so when he scored a goal against Tottenham, he celebrated like this. Bro might be the first person to humble Mourinho, but for Lionel Messi, it'll take a lot more than that to shut him up.
Should be some finish to the match. Have set up here a potential grandstand finish with their first shot.
After a heated match between the Netherlands and Argentina, Lionel Messi was in no mood for pleasantries. So when Weghorst insisted on speaking with him, he said this.
Con Leo Messi. Bueno, Leo, quedaste un poco caliente por el final.
¿Qué mira, bobo? ¿Qué mira, bobo? Anda para allá, bobo. Anda para allá.
Tranquilo, Leo.
Damn, you don't need to understand Spanish to know he just cooked him there. But if Messi can get away with this, Ronaldo will do even worse. During a match between Al Nassr and Al Shabab, the Al Shabab fans kept screaming Messi each time Ronaldo touched the ball. Ronaldo didn't respond at first, but as soon as he scored the game's winning goal, he turned to the fans and did this. That's such a crazy thing to do. Almost as ridiculous as the moment at number 4. In a match between Manchester United and Arsenal, Louis van Gaal didn't agree with the referee's decision to award a free kick. So when he noticed the ref wasn't understanding him, he decided to demonstrate his point.
Louis van Gaal obviously irritated there by what he considers to be a dive by...
I mean, who needs VAR when coaches can just show us a replay?
Oh my goodness! What is that? Now he's on the loose. Oh, in wonder over what just happened to Louis van Gaal. Oh, here he is! Can you believe this man? He certainly has his ways of making a point.
But at number 3, a player was tied up by his teammates. I know that sounds insane, but while training with his teammates at Palmeiras, Roger Guedes was suddenly ambushed, beaten, and tied like a piece of equipment. While this was happening, his coaches stood by the side, laughing at the dehumanizing act.
What the hell?
But when the video drew harsh criticism, the players said they wanted to toughen him up. This moment stuck with Guedes, and when he finally left the club, he made sure to dunk on Palmeiras with his new team. But as crazy as this was, it's nothing compared to what happens at number 2. After an attack by PSG was stopped by the non-defense, the referee paused the game to give Diego Carlos a red card. Everyone wondered why, until the replay was shown. Carlos collided with the referee while running back to defend. Then, in a shocking loss of control, the ref kicked at him.
Oh my God. Hell no.
Even a toddler can figure out that Carlos didn't do that intentionally, but the ref's mind was already made up. After the game, the French FA investigated the situation and suspended the referee for 6 months.
Nice.
He retired after his suspension was announced. But now it's time for the most ridiculous moment in football history.
You call me arrogant, and French people are famous for being arrogant. So I'm exactly like you, so you should love me.
After losing 3-2 in the French league, Zlatan Ibrahimovic was furious about the questionable decisions in the game. He confronted the referees with rage.
Don't even deserve PSG should be in this country.
He went as far as calling France a shit country, stirring up a huge controversy. Eventually, Ibrahimovic was forced to apologize, but this unbelievable rant will never be forgotten.
First of all, was not aiming for the people or whoever there. When I said it, I was angry in that moment, and whoever felt offended or took it in a wrong way, if they took it, I mean, I apologize for them. I have no problem.
But while Zlatan's confrontation was ridiculous, nothing compares to the mistakes that decide matches. It's time to see the most shocking referee mistakes in football history.
And for Lamine Yamal, he couldn't believe his luck when the referee gave him a penalty for this disgraceful dive. Unsurprisingly, the VAR stopped working at the same time.
Yeah, boy.
But at number 24, some players beat up a referee. In a heated match between a military defense team and a bunch of testosterone-filled university players, the referee made a shocking mistake of disallowing what seemed to be a legitimate goal.
አስቀድሞ ኳስን ከመረብ ጋር በማገናኘት ወልዋሉ ቀዳሚ ነበር። በሪችሞንድ አዶንጎ የ22ኛ ደቂቃ ግብ አማካኝነት ሆኖም ከ10 ደቂቃ በኋላ መከላከያ ያገኘውን የፍጹም ቅጣት ምት በምንይሉ ወንድሙ አማካኝነት ወደ ግብነት በመቀየር መከላከያን አቻ አድርጓል።
But at number 23, a referee's mistake gave a player a heart attack. Yukita Sugita thought he had scored one of the best goals of the season. But to his surprise, the referee blew for a goal kick. Now imagine this happened in the match at number 24. But if you think this referee was bad, wait till you see what happens at number 22. During a match between Galatasaray and Adana Demirspor, the referee gave a penalty for this embarrassing dive.
Mertens geldi, hamleyi yaptı ve yerde buldu kendini.
But because VAR was functioning properly, they said to him, "Hey ref, come to the monitor and have a look again." He went over, had a look, and still insisted it was a penalty. Upset by his obvious bias, the Adana players walked off the pitch. Maybe this is what the Rayo players should have done when Yamal was given that penalty. But the referee at number 21 ruined his career with one silly mistake. After a PSG counterattack came to an end, the referee stopped the game to send Diego Carlos off. For what? That was the question on everyone's lips. Until the replay showed something truly unbelievable. Apparently, Diego Carlos mistakenly collided with the ref while the counterattack was on. The ref tackled Carlos back and sent him off for the incident. I just spat out my drink. What? This ref must have been high on something. However, the French FA didn't care and subsequently suspended the referee.
Nice.
But to think, this is just 5 out of the 25 moments we've got lined up. Now is not the time to leave this video, because still to come is a ball boy scoring a goal, Barcelona robbing Chelsea, and a referee faking an injury. Before we get to those, you have to see the terrible refereeing error at number 20. During a match between Arsenal and Chelsea, Alexander Oxlade-Chamberlain committed one of the craziest handballs you'll ever see.
And here's Fernando Torres, and he's teed up Hazard. Oh, it was almost.
But when the referee came to send him off, he gave the red card to Gibbs instead.
The appeal is handball. Andre Mariner is giving himself some thinking time. He's pointed to the penalty spot.
I don't blame him though. They practically look like twins.
Oh my God. Hell
but I
no.
wonder what the excuse would be for the referee at number 19. After winning the first leg of their World Cup qualifier against Ireland, everyone expected France to easily win the second leg, considering it was in their home stadium. But as soon as the game started, Ireland took the lead to silence the home crowd. France threw everything, including the kitchen sink at them, all to no avail. So with minutes left to play, Thierry Henry used his hand to assist France's equalizer.
Trying to measure it. Richard Dunn last time. Oh, Henry! Oh, it's in the net. It's a goal. McShane has put it into his own goal. Oh, it's in the net. He's on the back to Gallas and it's easy, but that's a handball, no question about it. Absolutely no.
Immediately, the Irish players swarmed the referee, claiming handball. Despite all their complaints, he allowed the goal to stand. But at least it was just a goal. The referee at number 18 allowed a player to get away with murder. While the rest of his teammates were training for the World Cup final, Nigel de Jong took kung fu lessons instead. So when he found the perfect opportunity, he decided to show his newfound skills. After witnessing this firsthand, the referee only gave him a yellow card.
What the hell?
But as bad as this decision was, it's nothing compared to what happened at number 17. During a match between Italy and Uruguay, Luis Suarez bit Chiellini's neck like it was a Thanksgiving turkey leg.
And he headbutted him there, didn't he? Luis Suarez appeared to move him.
But despite Chiellini clearly showing the bite marks, the referee only gave Suarez a yellow card.
Did Suarez apologize? Of course not. He behaves in a way, and FIFA allows him to do so because they need the champions to play. They don't have the courage to make the right decisions.
Luis Suarez is suspended for 9 matches and banned for 4 months from any football-related activity.
I think that has to be an exemplary punishment, and he has to be suspended for the rest of the World Cup, so no one can do this anymore. This is football. You don't bite.
Before you question this referee's thought process, you have to see the madness that happened at number 16. In the dying minutes of a tense match in the Brazilian League, the goalkeeper was preparing to take a goal kick, unaware that something crazy was about to happen. As he kept the ball, a man rushed onto the pitch, took the ball, and scored a goal. Normally, this wouldn't have been an issue. We get pitch invaders all the time. However, after the referee consulted his linesman, he awarded the goal. What? Wait, what? This is the kind of behavior that gets refs beaten. But at least this was scored by a human, unlike the ghost goal at number 15.
Here I come. Here I come.
In a match between Bayern Leverkusen and Hoffenheim, Kiesling was disappointed his header didn't go in.
He just keeps scoring. Last season's.
But when he saw his teammates celebrating, he joined in on the action. But after close review, it was discovered that the ball entered through a hole in the side netting, which should not have counted as a goal. To the shock of everyone, the goal stood. But while this ref was generous, the guy at number 14 made one of the most bizarre decisions you'll ever see. In what was the last action of the first half, the referee awarded a free kick close to the 18-yard box. However, when the player scored from the free kick, the referee disallowed the goal and blew for halftime. Some say the referee made a bet on a halftime draw. Others say he was a fan of the other team.
What's up, babe?
Hey, you should come over. I'm home alone.
But I'm sure he was just rushing to subscribe to this channel. Be like this ref. Hit that subscribe button now. Moving on. The referee at number 13 did something no ref has ever done before. After giving a penalty, the referee stood in the 18-yard box to ensure that his teammate scored. And when he didn't, he said, "I'll just do it myself." I'm sure Manchester United could use a clinical finisher like this. But the referee at number 12 needs proper math lessons. In a match between Croatia and the Aussies, the referee issued a yellow card to Simunik for a hard tackle on one of the Australian players. Later in the game, Simunik committed another tackle and received a second yellow. but the referee forgot to issue him a red card. Having escaped being sent off, Simunik still didn't calm down and received a third yellow before finally being sent off. This mistake by the ref went viral, forcing the man to resign from his position. If the man could leave work over this simple issue, I wonder what the ref at number 11 will do. When a goalkeeper drops a ball he's holding, play automatically continues. But on this day, this referee rewrote the rule book. After waving play on, West Ham's goalkeeper dropped the ball to pull his socks. Spotting this mistake, Liverpool's Cody Gakpo rushed to score an empty net, only for the referee to blow his whistle. For what, if I may ask? The referee had already waved play on. I guess there are some questions we'll never get answers to. But now that we've made it to our top 10, it means one thing. We're taking these mistakes to a whole new level. I'm talking about a ref ending a match mid-game, an error that cost Liverpool the Premier League, and Ronaldo quitting football. Before we get to those, let's talk about another robbery in the Premier League. When Arsenal came up against Brentford in 2023, they needed a win to maintain their lead at the top of the table. And despite Brentford's initial stubbornness, Arsenal scored the opening goal of the game.
Saka trying to go round his man. Good delivery, must be! And it's Trossard who scores for Arsenal.
But in the 73rd minute, Brentford scored the equalizer.
By Norgard, Pinnock's climbing in there. That was going to be a goal. Ivan Toney scored. Flag has stayed down and Brentford have levelled.
Before they could celebrate, a check for a possible offside was signaled. The initial check showed that the scorer wasn't offside. However, the replay showed that Norgard, the same player who flicked the ball for Toney, was indeed offside, which should have canceled the goal. After reviewing everything, the referee allowed the goal to stand.
Going to be a goal. Ivan Toney scored. Flag has stayed
With
down.
Arsenal unable to score another goal, the match ended in a draw. But the controversial storm that followed forced the Referees Association to issue an apology to Arsenal.
It's a calamity because there's something not right.
I would never like to call anybody corrupt. You've got to question now what is happening.
Take this, because you remembered it at the end of the season, and then we're going to go on, and we're going to win the league. We are going to win the league.
But if you think this is bad, wait until you see what happens at number 9. With Manchester leading Everton 1-0, Rodri committed a blatant handball in his 18-yard box.
Blocked by Ederson. Oh, that was the hand. That was the arm of Rodri. Strong appeals here, and it must be looked at.
But after initially waving play on, VAR intervened to check what had happened. After what everyone saw was a handball, the referee still insisted it wasn't a penalty.
They have not given it.
This single decision helped City maintain their winning streak, eventually winning the title by a single point.
And to think that Chris Kavanagh has not given that penalty, I've got a 3-year-old daughter at home who could tell you that's a penalty. I'm not being funny, Jeff. I don't.
But while this ref got away with robbery, the guy at number 8 apologized when he made a costly mistake. After ruining a counterattack with an accidental blow of the whistle, this referee realized how badly he had messed up and apologized to the players.
Så forsøger Audekottet at begå en kæmpe frispark, og det vælger han så at dømme, og det er en helt vild situation.
I just imagined Premier League referees apologizing and burst out laughing. However, there was nothing funny about what happened to Ronaldo at number 7. Needing a win to keep Portugal's World Cup qualification hopes alive, Ronaldo pulled out all of the stops to score his team's winner. only to be denied because of this. Even a blind person could see that the ball crossed the line. So when the referee disallowed it, Ronaldo simply quit. This is how I expected Bellingham to react after what happened at number 6.
And City have got away with one there.
While losing 1-0 to Manchester City, Bellingham stole the ball after a sloppy play by Ederson. But after realizing he had messed up, Ederson fell like a sack of potatoes, forcing the referee to blow his whistle.
Ederson to get that one away. He's lost it to Bellingham.
However, the replay clearly showed this wasn't a foul. But because the ref was trigger happy, his original decision stood. Still, this wasn't the only time a trigger happy referee ruined a football match. With Arsenal winning against Barcelona on aggregate, Robin van Persie was sent off after shooting the ball 1 second after the referee had blown his whistle.
Fabregas. Van Persie is off. It's the second yellow card for Robin van Persie for kicking the ball away. So another twist to the drama.
This singular act ruined the game, with Arsenal eventually losing 4-1.
My opinion, it was a total joke, the sending off, because how can I hear his whistle with 95,000 people jumping up?
1 second between the referee whistling and you striking the ball.
But this way, 1 second from his whistle till my shot is just a joke.
But the error at number 4 cost Brighton a spot in the Champions League. The Seagulls, under the guidance of Roberto De Zerbi, were hunting for an unexpected top 4 finish. Their opponents, Tottenham, were also hanging on to 4th spot by the skin of their teeth. The pressure could be felt all around the stadium, with both staff and players having a proper battle. Things reached a boiling point when the referee refused to give a penalty for this blatant foul on Mitoma. After initially waving play on, the game was stopped so VAR could check. The replay showed that this was a clear penalty, but to everyone's surprise, it wasn't given. But when you thought Premier League referees couldn't outdo themselves, they pulled off something even worse.
Not yet.
In a match between Liverpool and Tottenham, Mohamed Salah's through ball was perfectly finished by Luis Diaz. But before they could celebrate, the linesman waved offside.
Just want the flag. Diaz keeps going. What a finish.
However, the replay showed he wasn't offside. So when the VAR asked to review it, this happened.
2D line on the boot.
Yep, okay.
Perfect.
Yep.
Off.
Thank you, mate.
Wait. The on-field decision was offside. Are you happy with this? Yeah. Are you happy with this? Offside on-field goal. Yeah. On-field decision was offside. Are you happy with this image? Yeah, it's onside. The image we gave is onside.
Left back.
He's gone offside. Delay. Ollie's saying to delay. Ollie's saying to delay. Delay the game. Stop the game.
They've restarted the game.
The decision is offside.
Cut anything.
They didn't do that on purpose. So, and we should not forget that. Yes, it was a mistake, an obvious mistake. Not as a manager of Liverpool, so much more as a football person. I think the outcome should be a replay.
While this might be categorized as human error, I don't know how to explain what happened at number 2. With Tunisia desperate for an equalizer against Mali, the referee looked at his watch and ended the game 5 minutes before the end of normal time.
85 دقيقة يا حبيبي يا حبيبي يا حبيبي.
I've got so many questions about his thought process. What was going through his mind? Was it the heat? Did his girl ask him to come over?
Hey, you should come over. I'm home alone.
Ici, fait la fin du match, il nous demande d'aller au vestiaire. Tous les joueurs ils font le bain de glace pendant 35 minutes. Après, il vient et il nous demande de revenir sur terrain. Il siffle à la 89e minute.
Bon, nous, on nous a dit de nous mettre sur le terrain parce que le match part. Malheureusement, l'équipe adverse n'a pas voulu faire sa presse.
Ça fait presque 30 ans que je suis dans ce domaine et j'ai jamais vu une situation pareille.
I guess we'll never know. Just like we'll never get an explanation for the corruption that happened at number 1.
A referee from Norway is the strongest.
The build-up to the Champions League semi-final between Chelsea and Barcelona was tense. Barcelona was the best team in the world, and Chelsea still wasn't scared of them. Early into the game, Essien gave Chelsea the lead, and it seemed their lack of fear was going to pay off.
Looking to pull it back.
But little did they know, they were about to witness the worst corruption ever. First, Drogba was denied a penalty after a foul by Abidal. Next, Gerard Piqué committed a handball in his penalty area, but the referee waved play on. Their worst nightmare eventually came when Iniesta scored the all-important away goal.
It's Messi. It's Iniesta! And the Chelsea fans cover their eyes in horror. 2 minutes.
However, with a few minutes left, the Chelsea boys pushed for a goal, only to be denied another penalty claimed by the referee. After the referee ended the game, Drogba had this to say.
Players have to keep their heads as well. There's no doubt about that. Drogba, a referee from Norway, is the strongest official.
But while referees can ruin matches with bad decisions, you'd be shocked to know what keeps footballers in peak condition. Click on the next video to see what football players really eat.